brown eyes, curly hair. Wiggle, anybody who's been following the news, I think, would recognize Wiggle as he was involved in a rather notorious case of espionage. Um, uh, he's right now he's got a kind of resigned and bemused expression on. I think internally he kind of knew it was going to come to this. Yeah, he knew he was going to end up caught. He knew he was going to end up here, and yeah.
So it's like acceptance in a sense.
Yes, yeah. I think, as he was planning everything, everything was kind of coming together, he knew there was no way he was going to get away.
All right, and that is physical interactions of each player. Of course, there's a bunch of other inmates. There's about 25 you in the bus. All of you having like a single space seats. It takes more time. You do hear over some time prisoners talking to each other and going like, "Oh, what are you here for?" Or like, "Hey, man," like clearly sweating, like or like anxious, just as some of you might be. Uh, Over time, you do pass this bridge, and more of the countryside comes around. Then, in a few kind of you do see a small town, and it maybe after an hour, you eventually go back to open pastures, and then you start seeing this huge wall from afar.
Coming along the way, you see what seems to be a from far away. It looks like a of some sort of flower structure. It could seem, but as far as the more you get closer to this building, you see that it's a very big um, building. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's like
about
about
60
60
feet
feet
long
long
in height.
in height. Uh,
The walls at the
the
end is
walls at the
tip,
end is
like as he
tip,
said,
like
as
as he
a
said, as
pedal to
a
kind of make
pedal
this
to kind of make
flower
this
shaped
flower shape
dome in a
dome
sense.
in a sense. Uh,
As you get
as we
closer,
get closer,
the tip of the
the tip of
tower
the
gets
tower gets like
shrinks out of
shrinks out
distance.
of
You
distance.
guys
You guys
kind of seeing
are kind of
guards
seeing
and
guards
more
and more
personnel of
personnel of
what would
what
seem
would
like
seem
a
like a
prison.
prison.
Uh,
Uh,
the
the
guard in
guard
the
in the
front
front, the
driver
driver
just
just
starts
starts
screaming
screaming
out.
out.
All right, inmates, shut up! No noise. We coming up. As the bus starts slowly stopping, and the door opens, you see the guards having a little greet amongst each other, and almost immediately now, because we haven't told you, all your seatings is like there's about 25 of you, as you can tell in the bus. You've been here long enough to know you're about 25 people. Everyone's sitting in their own seat. Uh, so guard guard opens the little door between you guys, like a cell door. And he goes, "All right, people on the left, first up. People on the right, after." So
So
as you
as you
guys
guys
start
start
orderly
orderly
coming off
coming
from
off from
the
the
bus,
bus,
you do see
you
that there's
do
some
see that there's
order.
some order.
You're all like trained
You're
from
all
the
like
hands,
trained
but
from the
not from the
hands, but not
legs.
from the legs. Currently,
As this is
as
shackled
this is
there,
shackled there,
you start
you
walking and
start walking
walking.
and walking.
Are any of you
Are
like
any of you like
kind of not
kind of not
following
following the
instructions, or
instructions, or
what are
what are
your
your
responses
responses
here?
here?
Are you
Are
all
you all
like
like
compliant
compliant
here?
here?
Uh, I would say my character will be as compliant as possible, but she's still kind of like shuddering, and she's got her arms like wrapped around her.
All
All
right,
right,
all right.
all right.
Uh,
Uh,
if anyone
if
feels
anyone
like
feels
they're
like
not gonna
they're
comply
not
right
gonna
away,
comply,
Uh,
we're gonna be like, go
go
on.
on, go
Rolling
on.
gives a cold. Sorry. Rolling just gives like a very cold, dead stare to the guard when the guard makes his demands, and but just seems to follow in place.
Oh,
Oh
man,
man,
creepy.
creepy.
And you hear
And
him
you
kind of
hear
like
him kind of
mutter
like
under his
mutter
breath
under his
as he's
breath
kind of
as
like
he's kind of
grabbing
like
you
grabbing
guys to
you guys to kind of
towards the
towards
direction.
the
And as you
direction.
guys
And as you guys
see this
see
iron
this
gate just kind
iron
of
gate is kind
parts
of
open,
parts
that it's kind of
open.
like
That it's kind of like
a part of the wall,
a
like a
part of the wall,
partition,
like a
and
partition,
you
and
all start
you
going
all start going
single file.
single file.
It's kind of
It's
nerve
kind of nerve
wracking. You don't
wracking. You
really
don't really
see
see
other
other
prisoners
prisoners
like
like
on the
on the
way
way
there.
there.
It's
It's
just
just
like
like
a
a
open
open
field
field
that
that
leads
leads
to
to
a
a
kind
kind
of
of
building
building
administration, like a
like a
building
building
office
office
of
of
some
some
sort.
sort.
As
As
you
you
all
all
kind
kind
of
of
go
go
to
to
the
the
entrance,
entrance, you single file and you manage to the guards are kind of getting rough as now. All right, we're gonna get you into showers, make sure everything's clean. I need you all. Once you're in there, you will strip and you will shower. It's important to take to listen to orders and follow them as best as you can. Anyone that does not comply will be will let's just hope you guys comply. So as you guys all walk through the entrance, you kind of go towards this like it's like they're leading you to this thing. So at some point you do go into what seems like shower rooms in a sense. And there's like a guard of your what you call it, your gender, kind of leading you to these posts. And it's very important to note that there are females and males. So this is going to be a co-gendered prison.
From what you guys can also tell, there seems to be a difference, a diversity in races amongst the guards. Nothing's like sticking out to particular. For now, it just seems like it's pretty diverse.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say that maybe there's like a out of this like a 2 out of 10 Inhumans. Like that's still the amount. There's maybe like one extra for each odd race. There's elves, there's orcs, half orcs, some tieflings. Tieflings are the rare bit, but you do see mostly like a majority of humans. It's not grand enough to make a notable difference, but you know, humans have always kind of overpopulated worlds, and even coming from your places, this is no different. Humans have always had the major population. This also includes an inmates.
All right, inmates, step into the shower and strip. Put your possessions in the box. As they say box, another guard just slides a container in front of you.
What? You're the man to strip without treating us to dinner first?
He kind of like shoves you like I said, you're here to comply. This isn't some humor where you all come here like animals and joke. And you can tell that the guy behind you isn't really like, he's just not here to get his leg pulled. So over time, like, are you guys actually stripping? There's kind of like taking off your clothes. They do want you in the nude.
Are there? You can go first. Go for it.
I was going to say Walker will, but she is extremely hesitant to do so.
Are there like individual boxes, or is it just one big bin?
Individual bins. There's like a little container for each of you to kind of put the thing. You can tell that's labeled already. You do see your name, yes, there as well.
All right, then yeah, I comply.
Gotcha. And just as a DM note for you guys, I have to double check that I actually wrote down all your equipment. So for now, leave that thing at 0, or like leave it as it is, and I'll make sure to double check everything's in order.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Before reluctantly complying, Fern, she'll quickly like try and cast disguise self, performing the movements hastily, and
Gotcha. And that's a verbal and somatic, right, kind of thing?
Yep.
So give me a stealth check to see if you're trying to do this like without the guard behind you noticing, right?
No, she's just doing it quickly. She isn't doing it. She isn't hiding it.
All right. So kind of like almost stumbling, like a bit afraid. The female guard behind you goes like, "Hey! What are you doing?"
Like as soon as the spell goes off, there isn't really any difference other than what you might know as a GM. Because I told you what I was gonna do with it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
But this female guard seems a bit like she's an alert. It's very important to.
Sorry, that was an accident. I do not cast Eldritch Blast.
No, definitely.
Wow.
I'm just laughing
Okay,
at
roll
it.
initiative.
No, that was an accident. That was a misclick.
Like the guard just gets blasted into the fucking wall.
So, Fernmare, she still kind of wants to know what are you doing. So, how do you respond to her?
I'm just a bit nervous, just trying to stretch and skull.
Listen, don't put me as
Not a
a.
big
Oh,
deal.
give me a deception actually on that then.
Deception. All right. Yep. Let me get that on my sheet.
Against her what? Just deception. Yes.
Alright. Feel free to anyone else tell me if they're like stripping or doing. Alright. So she kind of sees. Oh, okay, just relax. Slow movements. I'm just here to wash you up and make sure there's nothing kind of coming out of order. And then she kind of looks to her right, kind of like maybe she's taking the fact that you're just a female, kind of nervous about being nude. So she does give you the leniency of not really staring into the stuff. As she grabs a hose of water, and this is majority for most of you, they start spraying you with water, and they do make sure that you're in like an awkward position, like in jail, like to have your legs apart, make sure there's nothing being hidden, and your arms kind of like your armpits showing up, touching the wall. As you're all being sprayed and kind of washed, your hair is being kind of ravaged. If you have long hair, they're definitely gonna check through it to see there's nothing like blades or anything. Is anyone hiding any sort of small blade, or do they wish to do so?
Well, I was gonna ask, on the table where the boxes are, is there like, do they have like a set of like inmate clothes or anything laying on the table next to the boxes, or is it just the containers?
As of now, you don't see anything of that sort.
So it's just the box to hold our stuff. There's no.
Yeah, it's just the box, a containment to kind of put your clothes and everything neatly away.
How large would a set of tinkerer's tools be? Like too big to pocket in a cheek?
The cheek
possibly. You do have funky hair, if I recall. Like kind of like. I don't think you get a whole kit, but maybe. What kind of tools are in the set kit?
Let me check.
I feel like you could get away with like a screwdriver or some kind of small hammer.
I just like to try and like tuck my tinkerer's tools like in my mouth, like underneath my tongue or something like that.
Gotcha. Give me a general stealth check. You're gonna be like kind of hiding parts or these tools to see if you could like sneak it. At some point that water's like rinsing really well. That the small wrench you kept in your hair falls off. Once that happens, you open your mouth, go whoa, and like you have this awkward look at the guard, but at the same time he's seen this before. Prisoners are always trying shit, you know. So this is what kind of motivates him to investigate you further as he grabs your mouth almost. I wouldn't say it is pretty roughly at this point. Not rough, but just to make sure that you have nothing in there. He does see the little reflection coming from your tongue, and he goes. He kind of gives you like the give me the gum kind of look to hand. So he kind of reaches his hand out and he starts like kind of like pulling it, like come on, give it up.
I'm not cooperating. I'm making him reach into my mouth to get it.
Are you like opening your mouth like or are you like?
I'll open it, but I'm not spitting anything out on the floor for him.
He's a bit
confused. This is a door and guard too, by the way. He figured he lined you up because there's no like awkward size difference. As he reaches his hand, like you're like whatever. Like he's making sure that you don't bite, because this is like it's a possible thing. He has his baton on the ready, kind of like one hand on it as he's reaching for the thing in your mouth. As he pulls it off, he goes like, "You keep this up, mate. You're not gonna last long."
I'll just mean mug him the whole time.
Nice. Unfortunately, he did put your whole kit into the bin, and he looks at the. Are any of you others? Anyone trying to do anything particularly here, or are you guys compliant?
Can I try to palm or hide my toolkit, my thieves toolkit?
Gotcha. Those are mostly pins, even some stuff. You try to tangle it between your hair.
What are you doing exactly to pawn? Because you are being instructed to open your hands. So are you trying to like sneak it in between your fingers, like like what I'm saying, like you're trying to slide them in between like
Um,
your.
I'm gonna try to sleight of hand to try to, as I like magician style, as I like move from, as I like turn my hands to like kind of like twist it around my fingers and such to keep it out of the sight of the guard.
I see. So you're trying to play with his blind spots and kind of constantly
Right.
moving. Okay. It's a bit harder than just a stealth check, but if you want to make a sleight of hand, by all means, let me see that check.
Oh, that didn't go well.
Yeah, as you
Did mine, so.
yeah, as you're trying to go magicians on him, I don't know if you get the reference. It just slips on the first thing, and it just becomes that ding ding ding. You hear the awkward. You're also unable to
Like,
get.
oh, look what I
Yeah.
found.
Yeah.
Make sure these. I don't know who these are, but you should definitely make sure to keep these locked up somewhere safe. I imagine someone could get into all sorts of mischief with something like these. Here you go.
He looks at you with like a pale face, and he washes it as you see your needles go through the drain below it. You lost those two, those pins.
Listen, so you still have your these tools, but you are lacking pick locks from them. As he you know
These guards, right?
these guards, right? Is anyone else trying, or you can complain as best as possible?
Who was that line? Matthew? Wait. Oh, okay.
Walker is still complying, but still being very hesitant about it.
Gotcha.
Rolando also complies with the guard's wishes.
Samus is complying.
Sweet. So as some of you tried, you've noticed that at some point prison office do come in, and these are orange jumpsuits, the kind that are not really. You're supposed to stick up with them, make sure you're not doing any skulking, and they give you the privacy. That one guard that's assigned to you, pretty much the only person watching, making sure you're like dressing and not trying anything sneaky. As all of you are dressing into your orange jumpsuits.
All right, dressed up inmates. We don't got all day here.
So as you guys finish, you guys are pretty much led to the door, which
Shoulder players. Oh, okay.
kind of the opposite end of where you guys came in from. It's like a long hallway. As you kind of open into another.
Where are you going to? The auditorium.
Nice. So you are being led to kind of like one or two turns. It takes some time, and you eventually get to a place where there's more guards. Some of the guards are putting away your stuff. The ones that were like giving you baths and swords, kind of like are no longer there. This is like maybe 3 or 4 other guards to make sure that the 25 that arrived are kind of like kind of just ordered to you guys. As you guys all walk into a hallway, you all see this almost like an auditorium size room. You do see a.
You see you walk into a modern room with plaster walls, with like black rows of what seems to be platforms, and you're being instructed by the guards to walk down on the left side of the room, to walk down and just walk to the end of the row. As you guys are walking in, filling in the rows, as you got about 3 rows, I'm guessing, filled up.
Yeah, and these rows also have numbers, so to kind of help you align as best as possible. There is a podium, and there's no one behind it right now. But as you all guys kind of walk into a thing, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
You seem to notice a door on the left, which seems to be like a little sunlight coming from. You see a 5'5" elf woman walk in. She's well dressed. As you guys can tell, almost immediately, she looks very good looking. She's beautiful. She seems well filled out when it comes to physique. Dark hair. as she like walks towards the podium, gives a little walk past. She walks past it for just a little, looking at the whole room. She walks back. As she walks up to the podium, about to make a little, seems to make a little speech.
All right.
Sorry,
Sorry, let me just find my notes.
You don't have that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. All right.
You are in a
Casa Penitentiary. Your actions have led you to be incarcerated as unwanted members of society,
with no fault,
with no fault no other than your own.
However, this is
not the end of the line.
Our ministry
heavily believes in productivity for our nation, strives towards a better future. Our prison is unlike any other. We will provide opportunities with the access of jobs, accompanied by a fair wage for inmates. It is our hope that a Casa Penitentiary reconstructs your way of thinking. Once your sentence ends, you will reintegrate as pivotal members of society. And she kind of pauses like there to kind of see your reaction. She has this commanding voice, like it's almost stern. There's definitely a cold look in her, but like as mentioned before, she's very beautiful. As we all know, we live in a technological age. The Ministry of Bureau has allowed and administered data chips that will ensure the success of a Casa Penitentiary go to reconstruct, integrate, and adapt for a better future. For our better future. I will take the mental to personally oversee your growth as a contributing member of society within these walls. I am Solace Vivian. Will you all call me the warden? And then she kind of like stares at all of you and kind of like to continue this intimidation factor. This female isn't really shy or afraid. Not she's not afraid to look at this eye-to-eye contact. This is not a speech. This is.
Oh, pardon, my mistake. Just go on.
She does mean like
you, but then she realizes. She gives you this glance that she knows who you are. And then she kind of stares at you for a while. It's almost uncomfortable. All right. My POs and those under me will advise you how to proceed from here on out. As I said, my office is available, but you must ask. Everything is to be requested. All right. Thank you for coming. And she kind of like leave.
Thank you for coming. So a guard on the right guard on the right, the opposite of where you guys came into the end of the row, is telling you. First row tells you to pop to step out and walk into a door that you can't see on the picture, but it's on the opposite side of the doors that you can't see. Now they're all in the first row, right? Yeah. Oh no. You all step out as you guys are being led to to more hallways. You're led into like the end of the beginning of a lobby that seems to have 3 door wounds, like in different directions. They're all in front of you, and 3 of you are being asked to walk in, and that would be.
That would be Fern, Salas, and Bacantha. First one, Fern, to kind of go in. You see, like the guard kind of like not push you, but like kind of like tell you to pick up your pace and get in. As he closes the door behind you, you do hear a lock kind of come after. Those who are waiting outside will see this. You kind of see this room, Logan.
No. I suppose.
I'm sorry. We were pushed into a room.
No, just a counter. So you guys are individually pushed into 3 different rooms. 3 of you some of you should be not pushed, escorted, and that's kind of like to hastily move along. 3 different rooms, and there's only 1 of you in each room. There's some of you waiting outside by the kind of the hallway and the small lobby that my brother described.
Right. So were these rooms like holding cells?
They're not quite holding cells.
So you guys walk into this room, and it's a little dim on the lights. The best you can make out of any light source is an overhead dim light that shines down upon a bed with multiple wirings. You see some dark monitors that don't appear to be on, but aren't showing anything. They are on, but they're not showing anything on the screen. You can also see small steps to the side of this main area that leads to like a dark dim room. A dark dim room that's also part of the same room, but it's like a little like walk-in office that is also part of the room. You do see guards guarding that, by the way, like two on each side of those ladders. Now you're being told, you hear on a speaker, please walk up to the bed and sit down.
Please sit down.
As soon as she hears the voice through the speakers, she kind of jumps up, super startled. She goes, "Is anyone there?"
Yes, I'm the operator of this room. You would comply with my rules, and it shouldn't take you long. You are being data chipped. I'm sure the warden has. You are being chipped. I'm sure the warden has explained the fact that this is going to happen.
Right, but what does it entail? I don't know.
So these chips are pretty basic. They act. They kind of. What's the word? They kind of act as monitors to your health and also your vision. We're able to kind of use these chips to record what you visibly see and audibly hear.
I don't think I want to sit down then. I'm sorry.
Well, this isn't really a choice. This is something that must be done. Now, a Casa Penitentiary is res-
This is
mandated from the government, and
There's no
buts or ifs. It just will.
They're not mentioning because her chips. Just bad.
Right. When he says that, she gets a little frustrated. She's like, I still don't think I need to do this. I mean, my crime wasn't even that bad.
Too bad.
Well, this isn't about what crimes you did or done. This is about being a member of a Casa Penitentiary. Now,
It is pivotal
it is pivotal that
this happened.
this happened. It seems that you're a bit uncomfortable.
Are you uncomfortable?
Are you uncomfortable because it sounds painful or because of the privacy reasons?
Both. Just
Well, the best I could do for you now is offer an aesthetic that will put you to sleep through the operation. It's nothing but an addition to your kind of to your tempo.
Nothing serious.
Nothing serious.
Alright, well, if there's no way out of it, I guess we can just get this over with.
Thank you for complying.
And
it gets over some time. It was kind of like a
female
but kind of serious tone to it. You kind of like sit down. Do you require assistance in strapping, ma'am?
After hearing that, she kind of doesn't really give it a response, but she looks visibly annoyed, and she starts slowly strapping whatever on.
Gotcha. So you start seeing the machinery above kind of like move a little, and there's nothing. It does look intimidating by the sense that it's overwhelming. There's a huge amount of mechanical tools there. So you could tell that it's moving a bit of fire. It does look, especially for you because you have very little experience with technology, and it's not something your culture was quite okay with. And not yet. You all have the similar experience, so feel free to use this as a kind of a, so we don't over copy the explanation to each. But as you do sit down, you're all gonna see this eventually. To answer your question, So as you kind of think, you see that some of the tools are kind of like getting closer to your head with almost precision, though. As a small cut is felt from your temple, your your right temple. It doesn't hurt. It's actually pretty clean cut, almost like a surgeon's hand is doing it. And then the here's where you do feel something like it's like being touched by a bug there. And because you are strapped, you don't have the instincts to kind of move and slap it or whatever kind of an ordeal. But you do feel like a little something inserted into it. As you do another mechanical thing kind of like comes with a bandage in a sense, and like kind of like just like closes that up. It wasn't painful at all. It was at best uncomfortable, but not to the sense where it brought any like serious trauma. Uh, and then you hear the voice. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Mayor. Please wait outside. Please. You will be escorted outside. And you see one of the guards that were by the door, kind of just kind of like help you unstrap and kind of lead you to the back.
All right. Yeah. Like I said, she reluctantly continues. She kind of like touches that area that the chip was inserted. She starts thinking about it and ways to potentially remove it.
All right. As this is also going on at the same time, Salis, you've come to the same situation that Fern was just in.
Alrighty.
How do you respond? Being told to step up to the bed.
I mean, I'd assume I just like exasperated sigh, run my hand through my hair, and sit down on the table or the bed. Just get it over with.
For being most compliant. So you do
Yeah.
sit down, you strap yourself on, you see the machines just go down to the right side of your temple. You don't you do feel the cut, but it really doesn't hurt at all. As you feel something being slid into the right side of your temple, you're told to that is the end of the process. Please have the guard escort you.
Yep.
Now, Walker, at the same time, this is also happening. If just for players to know, this is happening like all at the same time in the 3 different rooms that you guys are all passed through. So, Walker, how would you respond being told to step up to the bed? How would your character respond?
Same as before, very reluctant, very hesitant. I mean, all this is new for her with her being raised in the woods. But she would eventually comply.
So you're slowly paced walking there, right? Because of a little scared. You're a little scared to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
As you're strapped in, you feel the same pain. You're told thank you for complying. A guard is escorting you, and you walk to the end of the room. Now the next 3 characters would be Wig, Roland, and Hugo.
Yep. So we will just go along with it.
And
But I'm paying particular attention to the device used to do the installation, and like how it's fed, where the chips come from.
perception.
Yeah, give me a perception or investigation check.
Sure, perception is kind of my bag.
If he does well, you can see that he sees an Arctech logo.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. So you do see a lot of the mechanisms. This is something you're quite comfortable with. You have trained experience. You are a spy after all. And what catches your eye real quick is that the lab has a kind of like a branding on it. And you've seen this branding before. Actually, you've worked for it before. This is Arctech Industries. So this is the same company you used to work for when you got nabbed. They were pretty much the leading industry and company in arcane technology. So specifically technology that focus on using magic and improving it. And you were
Okay.
busted for trying to spy into this particular industry as well. But
Gotcha.
you're not sure what's the relationship between the the prison itself and the architect, but it could just be because they're vendors and they need to sell their stuff to someone.
You're actually also quite familiar with some of the gadgets you see, seeing how you had experience dealing with these type of little, machines. Like what?
Okay, got it.
Because he's, yep, what kind of.
Okay, sweet. As the process takes over, you're very compliant. You try to look at the chip and see if there's anything more specific, but it's very small. You can tell because it's a small chip that's meant to not bother or interfere with your body. That's the reason. It does get slotted into your right temple, and the guard comes here to accompany you and takes you to the next room. Next was
Hugo.
Hugo. Hugo, you are being escorted, and you're quite small. You're kind of like being asked to do the same, and you are a goblin. Is there any mannerisms? You could also see that the first this is the same for the first one. He goes, "Wow,
Yeah.
yeah."
Kind of
Kind of like almost like you could tell it's probably because you're a goblin. He goes, all right, just go to the center, strap yourself, and kind of almost like seeing if you technically understand him. You could tell that maybe he doesn't often deal with goblins.
So Hugo would probably run in and start like looking around, sniffing the air, kind of trying to like observe this foreign environment.
Sit on table and strap yourself. The machinery on top won't hurt you in any way.
He'll comply.
Gotcha. You can tell that as you kind of like hop on over, you do strap yourself. You do see the machines kind of like wiggling their way towards you. You're a bit. You definitely have never seen like technology, like you said. This is out of your element. But like you kind of have like this. You're taking this as a new experience, so you do have like some kind of positive vibe attitude coming from you. As you feel the cut, it doesn't really hurt. You've had worse encounters in this, and the chip does eventually enter the right side of your temple. And as course, you're let out.
Renner, now at the same time, you're being told to go into the bed, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hop on the bed, and before he starts, I'll say to him, I'll be like, "Hey, bud, be gentle there. Last time I let someone put something inside me, it didn't go so well."
Oh, don't worry. We're quite qualified for this. Do you step yourself in, hearing that?
Sure. Reluctantly. I'll like make it take extra long just to waste their time.
Thank you. As you're strapped in, you see the machine walking towards going down towards the side of your right temple. You do feel the cut. It doesn't really hurt. You've been in multiple bar fights. You could tell you got caught, but you really didn't feel it. You just know what it feels like. You do feel something strange slide in though, while after the cut, and then you're told to the procedure's done. You're told to guard goes, come on.
Okay, I'll get up and follow.
Sweet. Now, yeah, Roland. Is it Roland or Rolando?
Roland.
Okay, rolling. You are asked to also step in the room along with two other random inmates there. You know, everyone's got to go to prison. You're kind of led to the bed, and they do the same thing. We're gonna insert a data chip into you. Please sit on the bed, and let's start the procedure.
Okay. Rolling would like to see if we can tell like how deep the room am I cut or anything like that. Like is it meant for deep? Like is the blade meant for deep cuts to enlarge it in there, or is it just to barely get to the surface to leave it like?
It's definitely like a surgeon's knife. It's very it's like a scalpel. It's very thin, not big. Like it might be deep, but like it's mostly made for like surgery and for precision. So it's pretty kind of top tier equipment.
Decisions.
You just but I just with the command and just go straight to the bed and just lays down.
All right, so I'm guessing, and you're not strapping yourself. By the sounds of it.
Yeah, like he doesn't mind. He just goes, just lays down, not really afraid of it.
I see a confident one. Well, thank you for being compliant. And as the same procedure happens, your right temple is cut. You don't really itch or twitch. You kind of just look up at it, kind of lost in thought a bit. After some time, the, the, the guy goes, "It's over. You may step out."
All right.
I stand up and just walk towards the door they told me to go.
Sweet.
All right, as you guys are all stepped out, the ones that came out earlier, you were told to just make a line on the on the left side of the door, waiting for everything to come. Eventually, you see the three doors that end towards the other rooms. You see other passengers. As you guys are told to line up, you guys are told to walk in a straight line. All right, prisoners, follow us. Keep a single file.
So you guys entered like this yard, like an exit to the building that you just came from, and you do see like this metal fence that's almost, if you look from left to right, dividing the prisons. The guards, one of the guard leading you goes, all right, this is your new home, and you see a bunch of like same shape square buildings. There's almost, I think there's a total of 9, and they're kind of like almost packed as a campus would be. There's like 3 on each. There's 3 rows. Yeah, there's 3 by 3 rows, and there's 9 buildings. They're about 50, 60 feet. What seems like maybe 3 long levels of flights. And as you step through, the guards are kind of like, there's like 25 of them. I hear that, or like. Yeah, there's like 25 of you, and they start calling out names in the first lot.
As none of your names are called, you see the other prisoners go into this block. You see the letter C on it, and then now you're told. Another guard speaks up. All right, keep following. As you guys walk a little more, you walk to another block, same opening, same design as the one before. As you hear, Mayor Underlake Kulinov, step up.
I step up.
Yeah, she steps up.
Wild Tree, I am not sorry, give me a bit. You see this guard like struggling with his paper. Underlake, Rog, Stein, Kulinov, Wild Tree, Movello, all of you. Walk in. This is your new home.
So you do see a guard kind of receiving you, and he does. You guys do pass through another building. Like I said, there's a front entrance, and the front entrance is heavily guarded. There is like a metal door currently open, and on each side of the entrance is a kind of guard outpost in a sense. You do see across these guard outposts, maybe like 20 feet away, something that looks like a cafeteria room, but they don't quite take you through it. You do see like some cafeteria tables, and a lot of the other inmates kind of looking at you, kind of looking back and forth. So looking back and forth. As you kind of go to the side of it, as the guard leads you to the side of it, as the guard leads you to the side of it, but he kind of finds you to assembly, and you guys make it to like a like you said, the ABC kind of block. Now he kind of leads to the middle kind of opening into it, and he kind of walks you through, and you go up a flight of stairs, and the first floor is pretty interesting because you see like a guard outpost in the center, and it's kind of a round one, and you do see like 4 stairs, one in each corner of the room here, and it's really big, it's really grand. The first floor has a bunch of like small cell block units that you can see inside, and people are being incarcerated behind bars or kind of just like keeping to themselves, reading and sorts. You also see a bunch of guards kind of taking note of the entrance, especially from the circle outpost in the middle. I I would get a photo. I mean, I will get a picture of this sometime actually. As you guys are led towards the stairs, you go towards the second level, and you all find yourselves on one side of the wall. I mean, the one side of the building. You're going to the right?
The backside.
Oh, okay, the back side of the building. Let me put you all on the map.
By the way, Dan,
Alrighty then.
I just realized that you misinterpreted that whole map. This is all one building. Yeah, no. That's just sections.
Alright, so as you guys, do you see the map, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
So
this is the second level. Consider this like a pathway, a bridge, and you do see from like if you were to like look over, this is a drop of maybe 20 to 30 feet. And you see the ground there, and you do see the outpost from above, and you do see the roof. So this is technically all of the like a walkway in a sense. Let me ping it for you guys. So this is like the walkway, and then each kind of like in the left side of the walkway, you all see like entrances to like cell units in a sense. And let me show that for you.
Oh, what's that right there? Is that just like a problem with the map?
No.
As you guys get through around here, feel free to put your tokens here.
Mapping the location? Okay. Yeah, I'll drag that out.
Make sure all your tokens are working too, because this is probably the best time to check.
Where do you do that again? I forget where you drag your token from.
You go to journal, grab your character's name, and just drag it onto the thing.
Gotcha.
Oh, sorry, Thomas, I never got the chance to finish your token. But I will do so after the game.
Alright, thank you.
So that kind of box that Van Mayer kind of pointed out over here. From afar, it looks like a room that's kind of like a small addition of a room. It's kind of like a supply closet from afar. Like it's just a protruding supply closet. On the front, which is let me use my ruler, which is this area, you do see like a door leading right into the front of it. On the side, you see a bunch of paper. And the paper has like a bunch of paper and like different handwritings. You're not sure. It looks like one of those. If you've ever been to a community center, there's like a board, and it just has a bunch of flyers and ads and wanted signs kind of thing.
Could I try to make some sort of perception check or something? It seems real far away, but if I could like understand.
Yeah. I mean, it's relatively easy. Are you trying to look for specific, like the word specifically?
Maybe just to like get an idea of what it's for. If it's like, I don't know, a newsletter.
I think it's after like squinting some time, you're gonna see that it says like it's a bounty board, but not particularly a bounty board. It's like it says a board, a community board. So it's basically where a lot of the prisoners have communications with each other.
They write notes.
They write notes. It's like basically in our world would be like a help wanted kind of, but it's not exactly help wanted. But you do see a lot of notes, a lot of from here you can't really describe. I mean, you can't really see what they are. You're gonna have to actually step up. But you see that the guard in front of you is pretty keen in taking, and this is definitely the guard taking you to your cell blocks. So as he kind of leads you towards inside, you see a bunch of rooms.
All right, prisoners, line up right behind me. First to my left, I keep forgetting his name. Stein. Can you write it down?
Like
Yeah.
there.
Get in there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Steiner,
Stein, Moby. As you guys kind of didn't realize him, as a little gnome that isn't Hugo walks in.
no, Goblin.
Right, Goblin. Walks in to the room with Stein. Fuck, where did we leave it? Who's the next room? Next room, Mavello. Kulinov.
To which room?
You can tell he's going in from left to right.
Here.
Okay.
All right, Underlake, Rog. Next room. And last but not least, Wildtree, Mayor. He's pointing toward this last room right here. All right, don't be so shy. This is your new home till you guys are out of here.
And this guard kind of comes out. Some rules.
So
So cells will be closed at night.
No buts or if.
No buts or if. Permanently closed.
starts at
It starts at 9.
9?
It will close at 9 p.m. And after that, I prefer you guys to be inside your cells. Anyone not accounted for will be investigated and given a strike. Before that, you do have jobs and responsibilities, but they won't be given out. So you are processed and interviewed by the board members of this prison. Please play great with your roommates. They're gonna be your friends. There will be guards casually out here, and he points to the where he kind of step out from, like right here. There are shifts, and at times there might not be one of us there, but majority of the time there will be. So he kind of looks at all of you. The rooms are pretty kind of almost empty. You do all see this bed, which is over here, and it's one of those twin beds. It's not twin beds. What do you call the beds? Are like top and bottom. Bunk beds. They are bunk beds. Yes, there's a top and bottom, but they're quite spacious for bunk beds. They they look more comfortable than a bunk bed should look. Spacious. In the back, you do see a partition here. And if you kind of come across to where a Cantha would be, Wildtree, you'll see that there's like a bathroom. So there's a toilet and kind of a mirror for but there's only one, and there's 2 of you per room. And all of you do have a desk. It's quite empty and bare right now. And the guard will except for Fernan and Cantha, you also have that desk pretty empty, but just imagine it's there because I oofed on when creating this thing. So they go, all right, well, by the end of the day, feel free to submit a submission form. It must be signed by both cellmates of what kind of station you want to set up there. It could be a bookcase, kind of a small workshop with allowed tools, and well, feel free to discuss what you might want in there. So basically, what he's asking, like, if you want like a workshop or some kind of activity zone among you, like a study desk or something, where that desk could be, it could kind of be fashioned that way.
All right, so you see the two guards slowly walk away. One leaves the room while the other one goes back to his post.
Yeah, and it was mentioned that it would take about 2 days of no, was it 2? Yeah, 2 days for you guys to recover from your chips and to kind of just settle into this new prison life before your interview for jobs. And the jobs also have been mentioned by the first other woman, the warden, about how it's pretty much core to this prison.
Now, speaking as DMs, feel free to ask or say who wants the top bunk bed, who wants the bottom bunk bed.
Well, feel free to role play amongst yourself right now. As you have your cellmates. Same thing with you, Renner. If you want to talk to your goblin companion for now, by
Is
Oh,
he?
so-
Sorry, go ahead.
Owen's Mike a bit like cutting off a little.
Yeah.
For,
Sorry, it's just that I had to use the hotspot on my phone to connect because technically having technical issues at my house.
all right. Seems like I hear you clear now. Well, what do you want to speak
No.
for?
I was gonna ask directly to Salis. Was it
Yes. Sailor.
Salis? Wait, how do I pronounce it?
Sailor. It's a hard A.
Sorry, Sally. I wanted to ask if you wanted the top bed or the bunk or the bottom bed.
It really doesn't matter to me. It's a bed.
Okay. What about the station? Like what they asked for? Any ideas what you may want?
I'm partial to a bookshelf, but we can discuss.
No, I was gonna I was kind of hoping you were aiming for a bookshelf too.
Ah, wonderful.
You see, I'm one that likes to curios.
As am I.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
All right, so as you guys are like kind of in agreement, you do observe each other, and in the next room, Rog and Underlake. What are you guys?
This is them too.
Well, I know I'm fine with the bottom bunk.
Cafeteria where
I think
you could walk in right now.
what do you think about our setup here? Should we have a? I was thinking maybe it might be a good idea to have
I don't think
a workspace.
because I'm like I know I introduced you
It's
to
one
the-
building. This is
and
all
then,
one building.
What do you mean you
I
need
thought
some
you
more
already walked in
grass?
here.
I thought you meant like Z.
No, I thought you walked him in. That's why.
No.
I don't think they're going to allow us to have grass in here per se, but maybe we could, have like a small plant of some kind. Although I'm not sure there's enough light to keep it healthy.
I'd rather there be dirt on the ground.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do anything about the accommodations. But regarding our workspace, I do think there might be some benefits to being able to make tools and such, in the long term.
All I need is plants.
You guys seem to kind of know what you're saying, but not understand each other. So you guys seem to be in a stalemate at the moment. Moving on. Fern, you do realize that you see this furbog woman crawling on the corner, like just sitting in a fetal position. Seems to be, I don't know, a little distressed. How do you respond?
I don't know, like slowly walk over and chill up and with. Hello. How are you doing? How are you holding up about this?
Walker herself is actually gonna kind of look at you curiously as you try to talk to her. and she's going to use Fireball Magic to slowly shift into your exact form.
Alrighty then.
Walker, you see, I mean, Fern, you see, Fern sees can you see like a identical character? You are disguising yourself? You're not sure. She hasn't really used the symbols to kind of convert into a different shape. So you're a bit, you know it's magic, but you don't know
I mean,
why it was casted so quick, you know?
it's like, yeah, I don't know how they cast it so quickly, but she knows the spell though, so it's like she might recognize it.
That's a good question, Rog. So the walls on your left and right of you are concrete, but the whole front is bars.
Alright.
Yeah. So it's mostly you would guess since it's co-gender, there's no point of putting a partition here if you could just see it from like the other side. I mean, who knows? But yeah, the side is definitely concrete, and the only bars are in the front, left to right all the way, and in the center is a door. Thank you for asking. Rog.
As and and could the finish up her spell or disguise self, and looks shocked, kind of surprised, and almost relieved. She's like, "Oh, you can do that too. That's nice."
Walker just nods.
So about the whole Bunka situation, what would you prefer? I don't really have any preference.
Walker seems almost antisocial. She doesn't say anything. She just points to where she's sitting.
Which is where?
Points to where she's sitting.
Yeah, like pointing down.
down.
Where
Down.
yeah, over there.
Yeah, so
She's a bit awkward. You
are you
Walker? Are you trying to like? Is this just antisocial anxiety coming from you, or is this? Are you kind of hiding? Is there a reason for this characteristics behavior?
Walker is extremely more comfortable around animals than people, and she is very slow to trust members of other races, tribes, and or societies.
Gotcha. So, Kantha, you don't know why. I mean, Fern, you don't know why. But you get a small gesture that she's just not a social person. You look at her, at her hair. There is some kind of like naturey kind of like, like it grows naturey. It's never been technically what you call it, combed or anything. It is slightly wet from the earlier thing, but you can tell that this woman does not really understand or doesn't want to understand social conversations and stuff.
Okay.
But you do notice from the tip of your eye this kind of this guard over here. Oh, okay, go on.
Renner, sorry. Did you ask the goblin any question?
Well, for starters, where is he in the room?
He's in the middle of the room, kind of looking at you. He's smiling. It's a small little goblin. He's just smiling at you. He hasn't said any word.
Let me see if I can get a temporary token for you then, just to get an idea.
Yeah. Does he look like a timid person, or like what?
No.
What vibe am I getting from him?
He's just smiling at you.
Yeah, he kind of looks like you. How you doing?
All right, I'm gonna walk right up into his face and I'm gonna say to him, "All right, ground rules here, bud. Top bunk is mine. The bench is gonna have tools, or else I'm going to beat you within an inch of your life out of boredom. Got it?"
Give me an intimidation. Oh, well, all right. And bunk bed is. I wanted bottom bed because I had small legs. I'm not gonna climb every day. But you don't have to come out so cast. I'm a craftsman and stuff. I know how to use these hands. I have many experience. I know it's hard to believe, but like you gnomes. He doesn't know if you're a gnome, but he does say gnome. You gnomes also are good with your hands. I'm good with hands too.
Good. Maybe if I can find something that you can help me with, I can get you services in the future.
I don't really want to work with you. You kind of come off as mean guy, right?
Listen, bud, you stay to your side of the room, I'll stay to mine. We'll just not bother each other, and everything will be hunky dory.
But I don't get it. We have the same bedside. How the sides get split up if we both sleep on the same side?
Just mind your own business and stay out of my way. And then I'm gonna go rummage through the desk and see what I can find at the desk.
Okay.
So like you can see that he's a bit like I wouldn't say dense, but there's definitely a personality for him that doesn't seem straight as or narrow. He does go to his bottom bunk. It kind of like takes out his. You see him kind of like play with something. You're not sure quite what. As he's kind of just laying there, kind of almost like enjoying the bed's comfort.
As you guys settle in for a bit, you see that the guard is actually stepping out. As at the same time, another a black human is walking in, and the guard comes to talk to the black human, see what he's doing here, and then you hear from like the side of the voice like, "Just say hi to the fishes. Come on."
All right, but don't cause any trouble.
As the guard leaves, you do see that they kind of give like each other like a small handshake, but it's not that discreet. You can see he slipped in like a little gold into his hand as he walks out. You know, Wig, are you outside yourself from?
Right, we weren't locked in the cells, were we?
No, they're open. They're quite
Yeah.
open.
Is there a clock around?
No, I don't think there's any clock.
I'm sure
I'm
it's
sure
Okay.
it's if you want. I mean, there's no clock around. But
there's no
I mean, there's no wrong in asking, kind of like or asking for one. That's what you think.
Well, it's just if we have jobs and such like that, I just didn't know how we would know like when things started.
Yeah, that seems very ideal. But currently there is no clocks or anything to the sort that would tell the time.
Okay.
But you do see this black kind of not too dark skin like human kind of walking towards you. It kind of gives you this huge grin that specifically you're seeing this is the only one outside. And you do see this player in this character.
He goes, "Hey, fishes! I need you to step out your rooms to give you a good look." You guys hear like shouting. You guys did hear step out your room. I want to know what each player is doing at this moment.
I'll just like.
I'm moving up to shake his hand.
I'll just stand in the opening of my cell and watch from a distance.
He does look at you, Wade. He goes like, "Whoa, killer! Step back a little privacy, little space." All right, I like this. Mayor Walker, you guys step out, or you guys stay in the room?
They're both just sitting down.
Yeah.
That's a see.
Yeah, Walker's not moving. She's staying right where she is.
No, like the thing is, if you're reading the chat, they're both basically taking on the appearance of each other.
Oh yeah, they do look like. All right, you're right. You do have a.
No, I mean like Ekta is taking the appearance of Fern, and Fern is taking the appearance of.
You do see him walk a little.
Wait. You're saying that you shift your appearance to look like Walker?
Yeah,
I mean,
Yep,
yeah, Walker.
All right.
All right. So you guys are okay. Sure.
That's awesome.
All right. So he does look at you guys. Does a little whistle. Not at you guys. He just seems to whistle. All right. Got a lot of character. I see. I like it. Evening, views and gents. I'm Frank Gritty. I'm your neighbor in the cell unit next to you. I'm here to give you fishes a little advice on how things run here. Now, this cell block in particular is not like the rest. Most of us aren't gangsters or affiliated to some group. We're just people trying to get by till we out. which leads me to the golden rule. I watch your back and you watch my back. He does look at you guys, going left to right, seeing that he has like an audience. It looks like he's kind of like presenting a case. Now I'm not saying you gotta fight my fights, and I'll fight your fights. All I'm asking is you tell me something's coming my way, and I'll let you know if anything's coming yours. Now y'all gotta understand, there's a reason why y'all fishes. You guys coming here. You guys coming from whatever body of water y'all coming from. This place right here is a whole new ocean with bigger, scarier fish. So please don't make my job hard and piss everybody off in the prison, because you ain't gonna last that long in here doing things like that. Now, with further ado, welcome to Block B, bitches.
All right. I take a step forward, and what is it that's your job? You mentioned.
Well, it's not really a job. I mean, yeah, I wake up and I grind for it. But you guys need anything, let me know. I'll try to hook you up as much as I can, or I'll let you know, put you guys in the right direction. Pretty penny along my way ain't so bad, but I'm just trying to say, let's build a relationship on trust.
I'm a fan of trust.
Yeah, of course. Just know
Yeah.
that thing's built. It's not built in one day. And in China.
Yeah, and to build something, you need a foundation. How about prove that you're cool with us? A little bit of a housewarming gift.
That's right. That's right. I will like a housewarming gift. Normally I don't really like to ask because I got a lot of stuff here. But how about you guys give me something?
I just imagine as you guys are having this like speech and conversation that Fern and Cantler are just in their cell, just sitting down, not even paying attention.
Oh, okay. Are you? No, the persuasion was for the persuasion was for. How about you?
You cut out.
No. I'm just reading the situation at hand with Silas's role, and that's for asking for something, right?
No, I was asking for a housewarming gift.
Yeah. Silas. All right. I'm sorry, Fern. What were you saying?
I'm saying that I just imagine that Fern and Cantler are just not even paying attention to this conversation. They're just in the corner sitting, looking at each other.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of knows you're theirs, but like he got his audience from what he sees. Nothing from what I'm seeing. Wig, Salas, I got Renner's attention. I got Roland's attention. I'm thinking I got a little bit of Hugo's attention, but he's like under the bunk bed or something, looking for dirt. Is that what's going on?
He heard fish and he just was looking for that.
Gotcha. Also to answer your question, Salas, he knows that you asked for a housewarming gift, but he kind of flipped it and say, yeah, why don't you give me a housewarming gift? And that was his response. He made it seem that you're offering a housewarming gift rather than the other way around.
Do you have that?
Are you gonna respond to him asking for a housewarming gift instead?
I mean, saw that little bribe you offered earlier. A little bit of gold would really make things flow a little easier at the beginning here.
That's confirmed. About this, I'll give you this gold. Maybe later on, you yourself, you owe me a little favor. Show you how things work around here.
That works with me. If it works with you.
Mention that you're in the next block. He points his hand out, and he goes like, and if you guys, thanks to this pretty penny, if you ever need to do something, I'm in the corner. I'm in the next cell unit over. Normally, guards, they let you go through, as long as you tell them who you're gonna go see.
All right, and what was your name one more time?
Frank Riddy.
Alrighty.
Alright, as he's like kind of like gives you a salute to all of you, kind of like see that he's leaving his punches. Does anyone else kind of want to speak to him?
Did he actually like give me some coin?
Yeah, I gave you 5 silver.
5 silver. Ooh.
Rich boy.
But you do owe him a favor, so just keep in mind he's holding to that word.
All right.
Was that Wiggle? No, Samus.
I am. You know, I'm not a stranger to making pact.
Does anyone else want to speak to Frank? He does seem like he's on the cusp of going.
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
Nah, nothing to say. No.
As he walks out, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I suggest you guys go try to find an arcane focus or some kind of weapon to protect yourselves with, or you guys ain't gonna last long. Best I can do, go ask Crazy Carl. That motherfucker's crazy, but he sells a lot of good stuff. He's in my cell unit actually, end of the cell unit, last room to the right. All right, catch you around."
As he kind of walks around, you hear the guard go like,
he's like
there, kind of like nearby. He's like
looks at all of you,
looks at all of you, but kind of like it's almost like that shame that that walk night home that he knows that you know what he did, but like he ain't gonna acknowledge it. He looks at you and he's like, he kind of just nods at all of you. All right, there will be order here, and there's usually about 4 to 5 separate guards that take shifts here. Best to remember their faces. You always want to be on our good side.
All right, yes. And do they all take bribes, or is that just you?
Anything to make food available at home. You can't see his name badge. This guy's his name is Mason. So Mason kind of just goes back to his like office. Kind of just like look at his paperwork. Whoever I think it was Usadis that asked him about. He's kind of ignoring eye contact for that. Kind of he does look at Walker and Mare.
As the guard walks away, I like put a hand up to my mouth and just shout, "Money makes the world go round, my friend." And then I walk back into my cell.
Gotcha. As he looks at you two. You can't stay in your corner all day long. You're gonna have to learn to integrate here.
This is the moment he said that I started doing something, using produce flame, and now she's just basically just juggling the flame, kinda.
Hey, none of that. There's no magic here. Not in front of us. That gets you one shot.
As soon as he says that, she looks a little disappointed and she dismisses it.
You also see it in his notes. He kind of grabs the paper and he kind of writes. Not only like he does a check mark kind of thing, that you could tell from his thing, but you also notice that he writes a bit.
He's not in that he's a wizard.
He cut out.
Yeah, he's just writing a bit longer if you want. I feel like you just see him take kind of a longer note, and then he kind of walks into his office. Now this office is a lot like a like half office. There is a door that you kind of still need to jump over. It's like not a door. It's more like a what is it?
It's like a small panel door that you can just open and go through. But the thing is that it looks like a small plaster thin wall. Small little box. I'm sorry. What did you guys hear from the explanation?
Okay, you didn't push the talk. Okay, sorry. So the wall is like a panel. The door.
The door is like a panel-like door. You can like just go through it. It has a doorknob, but it doesn't. It seems like a flimsy door. The plaster walls around the door is also looks thin. You do see like it has a steel frame on top where windows would be, but the thing about this particular, it's like a booth pretty much with no windows, and so it's easy to see. I mean, it's a little distance between the guards and outside the back panel. They can see you. You can see them perfectly. It's just it's a small panel that looks a little. You know, if you were to jump over it, you would probably like have to jump over it awkwardly.
Yeah, like it's possible. So, but yeah, so he kind of sits in there. It's like an amateur. It's like a interview staff kind of thing. Like when you go walk into a building, you meet the greeter person or whatever. I forgot what they're called. But so he sits in his desk, tends to his papers. And you guys have the free roam. Is there anything wants to specifically? There's a cafeteria as well. The guards kind of like hint the idea that it's not like you're free to go at any time, but this specifics they kind of mentioned the time. It's like, well, lunch, breakfast is at 8, any but if you don't go, it's not mandatory. Lunch is mandatory, and that will be at 1 to 3, 1 to 3. Dinner will be at 5 to 7, also mandatory. Oh, not mandatory, would it? No, it wouldn't be mandatory. Sorry. I guess it would just. We'll discuss it. It's in the shop. But lunch is definitely mandatory at 1 to 3.
As the guard walks away, Walker's going to very slowly lift her hand, keeping it kind of hidden from the guard, cast Druidcraft to cause a small flower to bloom, and then hand it to Fern.
Alrighty then. Yeah, she'll accept the flower, look at it. I think it's kind of nice. And do we even have pockets? Is my question.
You do. Your orange jumpsuits do have pockets now. These pockets are not great for hiding things in them. So they're not, but they're deep pockets, but they leave imprints.
She'll like look at the flower for a bit. You know, she thinks it's nice, and yeah, she'll put it in her pockets. Why not? That's what I'd say. So, I know which bed you wanted.
She kind of just points to the ground again, but kind of motion that she'll sleep right where she is.
Oh, you don't have to do that. It's cold and I mean, I'm sure it'd be uncomfortable too.
She'll reach out and kind of make a motion on your arm where the fur that she actually has is, kind of noting that she'll be fine.
Alright, well, you're welcome to take the bottom bunk if you want. And, you know, she'll stay right there. So, I think they also mentioned something we could get for the room. Is there anything you'd like in particular?
She thinks for a moment, and for the first time you actually hear her speak, and she goes, "Plants?"
And, like, she'll kind of perk up and she looks a little excited. She's like, yeah, if they can provide that, we can definitely try and get some plants. I don't know if that's on the list or any ledger, but worth a shot.
So as you guys finish the conversation, a lot of the other like Wiggle and Ren, I think, are talking about creating tools. And feel free, by the way, guys, to roleplay and say this out loud if you want to. I know it's gonna be a bit hard to not intervene or like interview. I mean, intervene or interfere with each other, but don't be shy. So as Akantha and Mare are kind of bonding more over the thing. As DMs, you guys are gonna ask the guard. One of you do ask for a clock. He kind of says, "Yeah, sorry, we should have one, but it was the whole lot was empty. We didn't think we should manage it. It'll be here by the end of the night." This to you, Underlake.
Yeah, I'm gonna force him to get us a clock. I'll just keep asking what time it is. All right. So, Wince kind of rubbing my right hand with a slight wince. I think I'll call out to everyone. Well, should we go see Crazy Carl?
Partial to that.
Yeah, sure. Might as well see if we can find something to keep yourself safer.
Are we getting stopped by a guard at all as we're passing from one cell block to another?
you do see that the guard that kind of in your cell block unit, he's making notes of you. He's making sure he sees who he sees. Same thing with the there's like guards positioned sometimes in every corner, often walking about making rounds. Uh, they seem to not mind that you're leaving the cell unit at this time. Uh, as you guys all walk, I'm guessing, is anyone staying behind?
I'll go around just to and see if I can take note of where anything is.
If you call what? Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Walk around. Like go. I'll go with the group.
Gotcha.
See where the medical ward is or anything like that is.
Um. All right. Give me an investigation check. Yeah, investigation check. And as you guys all pass this particular area, you do see in a closer range. It is a bouncy board. You do see some paper notes, kind of like pinned. Not well, is it pinned? It'll be like little safety pins. You do see like scatterers of. You see one from.
You see a post. It goes in both letters, black. You see, if you see something, say something. And now in small letters under that, you see, if there's any suspicious activity, please report to your cell unit parole parole officer or to the head of security for cell block B.
You also do see other notes. Some of them do seem from guards, some of them do seem like propaganda from the prison itself. Being here is already starting the process of integrating back into society. There's a lot of what the warden kind of. You do see some signatures of the warden here and there. But you also do see odd things of like messages from other prisoners. You do see one that says. In almost bold letters as well. If you need cause, I have one to provide. Come speak to me, Mao, first floor, Soul Unit B. And you kind of see it's kind of like what they call it, left pretty vague. You do see flyers for like shop owners. You do see one on Crazy Car itself. I got your goods if you got needs. Kind of like it's almost like an advertising center of things might be updated constantly here. It's like I said, it's like a alternative to a job board, but more like a community kind of communication center. And they do have one in almost every cell. This was intended to be just a supply closet, so you could feel like it was just like multi-use purpose. So you guys continue down towards the next cell unit. You do see. Sorry about the darkness. You do see the other entrance. And these kind of gray stones here. You see that radial circle there. Those are the stairs. And not an actual representation of what they look like, just like a map reference to I'm gonna go down the stairs. Now this is one side of the wall. One side of the building's wall. So there's four sides of a wall, and this is the one like I'll think of what like let's put section 3. So there's 4 sections. This one's called section 3. Second floor, Underley. You went up the stairs. You were led up there. This is the second floor.
So could you repeat what you said about Mao? If you have.
Oh, Mao. You do see if you have.
What was it? What did I say?
I totally forgot. I mean, it's like, if you have.
Should the cause or calls?
There you go.
If you have cause,
I
have your needs.
Come see
Mao at the first floor.
Block. That was Carl.
Okay.
No.
But he's asking for Mao.
Yeah, no.
I know I'm asking.
Alright, so as you go into the thing, you do see a bunch of other prisoners. Same kind of like last time. Feel free to
explain the prisoner's line. as you guys walk into the cell unit, almost immediately, the cell in front of you guys, you see two females. Um, one's a tiefling, and she's just laying on the lower bunk, like with no care. From what you guys can see, she has an eye patch over one of her eyes. It's a rag eye patch, and it goes all the way to the back of what seems to be her long hair. She's a purple tiefling, but she's a little on the lighter purple side. And on the desk, you do see a a petite female human. She's she's writing. She looks a little like nervous. You might see this a little in the same uh, emotions from Walker when she first came in. She's a little nervous. She seems to be a little scared, and she's writing down. But she does make note towards you guys, and she seems a little nervous, but she ends up giving you guys a good look.
Bit timid in a sense. And to the left, you do see a. What are you guys doing? You do see that this room actually is different from your unit. They have an extra cell block. You could tell from here. This is the same concrete walls, and I'm not sure if you will see from your angle. There's bars on this side, and just like in your room, there is a small kind of shabby outpost for another security guard. This one seems to be a female.
At first glance, would anyone in any of the cells here give the impression that they are potentially crazy Carl?
No, everyone seems to be actually pretty reserved. Would you see on the left side over here? Someone's just reading a book. You see a gentleman on the right over here. He just seems like he's like in his desk. You see a small workshop. You can't tell what. But everyone seems calm. Actually.
Yeah, you do see a person kind of walk in. And it seems like he looks at all of you as he's kind of like bypassing you, kind of odd thing as he kind of goes towards his block. His cell. And he doesn't really converse with the bearded man, but he just like kind of like comes to his bunk and like also joins in on reading. What are you guys doing?
So to the guy on the right, I'm just going to introduce myself as, hello, I'm Wig. I'm looking for Crazy Carl.
Well, you found him. How may I help you?
Well, I guess an associate, Mr. Gritty, mentioned you might be able to help some of us acquire some protection.
I see. I'm guessing he paid you a visit. Are you fish?
I was so called, yes.
Interesting. Well, hey, I'm Crazy Carl. Not really loud. You can tell he's actually pretty like calm down and serious. I provide protections of sorts. I kind of have open workshops here. As you see, his loading desk. It is a workshop. Not quite common, but hey, when you're in good terms with the warden, things just go your way.
I believe we'd be interested in maybe seeing what you had to offer, and I guess I'm curious how one can walk around with said protection and not incur the attention of the guards.
He kind of looks back at the guard behind you, and he kind of like nods over to get closer, make sure you're not he's not being hurt. And you can tell he's also pretty reserved. He goes, "Oh, you see, we have this thing called hiding shit." So he kind of looks at you. Yeah, well, a lot of the inmates here do like to carry like small sticks, rods. Some of them do get shanks. Now, of course, none of this is legal in any sense. Now, we have a strict kind of like try not to snitch on other people. You tell them, you can if someone's kind of pursuing you with a knife or something, you could always tell them. But just
That's the quickest way to die. As out of you hear like a little voice, a feminine voice. You see, it came from a goblin who's on the top bunk of the bed. It's weird because from a glance you can tell she's actually a female, but she seems very elderly. It's an elderly goblin, and she's just looking at you guys. Like you can tell she has her eyes on you.
Oh, hello. I'm Wig. This is my associate, Mr. Renner. Is it
Renner.
Rainer?
Renner.
Mr. Renner? And I think this here is Hugo. And I'm afraid I didn't catch your name, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be Salus.
Oh, and so this is Mr. Salis.
wow, quite a crew.
Yeah, we're the new kids.
That's nice. As you hear the goblin smile as she says this.
All right, well, like I said, I'm Crazy Carl, but my real name is Carl.
What's his name? Carl Trier.
Carl Trier. Most guys would call me Trier. Crazy Carl is just a fucking synonym that Frank Grady gave me. Just he thinks it has a tough factor and no one's gonna fuck with me, which no one does. Regardless, even if I didn't have the name, just to make that very clear. And you can also see this kind of blonde human, kind of well sculpted, wears glasses. He looks pretty fine, like maybe like reaching his early 30s.
So how does one pay for these? I mean, sorry, we're new. We don't have much of the way of worldly goods right now. How does one pay for?
Sorry, go on.
How does one pay for said protection?
Well, we don't do that here. We don't. I'm not here to take care of you. I could get you the instruments that will guarantee you your protection. But I just gotta make sure you guys are straight, because I can't be selling to snitches. It kind of like that all of you like to see if like you like comprende, like you understand what he's saying.
Well, so I can assure you that I am not one that wags the tongue, so to say.
Alright, well, if you could speak for your companions and yourself, if Frank Grady sent you, there's no reason not for me to sell to you. Alright, well, what I have are shanks. Now, they're not daggers or things like that, they're not as efficient as that, but they are protection. You could also kind of get these small pipes. So they're like small, like kind of metal pipes to bash. They act basically as a quarterstaff for a sense, but they're smaller in a sense that they're hidden. Like I said, a lot of the prisoners here and inmates, they have some of it. Some of them might not. But if you get in fights, try not to use them. If you kill someone, you're gonna get this whole block chipped.
Chipped.
Yeah. You know that recording, that chip you all got?
Yeah. Is it not active?
Well, I haven't really studied it myself, but the process of how to get things done, usually if a violent crime were to occur, they don't really. They have a weird process. They pretty much collect anyone from the crime scene, and they ask them to send to the back to the chipping room. From what I've heard. Now, they're also given a day off from work. This technically counts as a bad thing. You don't get paid, and it doesn't look good on you. But basically, most people that have been responsible for violent crimes, they're pretty much given a lengthier sentence, and they did it. I'm not sure what exactly happens in there, but if you get chipped and you did the crime, they find out.
can both Salis and Hugo roll me a perception, or at least give me their passive perception?
I can roll perception if that's all right. My passive is 11, unless you just want to keep it.
It's
That's all right. Roll it. Feel free to roll.
Hey, look at that.
Well, it's not that hard to see, but both of you, especially you, Hugo, since you're a little closer, you see that the Oriental female that you guys seen earlier is kind of like listening into the conversation, and it kind of looks like she's waiting for you guys to be finished with your talk with Crazy Carl, as like she wants to ask you something.
Can I help you?
Salis said that?
Yeah.
Salis? Sorry.
Oh, she goes, yeah, but maybe a little after you're done with Carl.
All right, we'll be at it.
All right. So these shanks are gonna cost you. They're gonna be
I don't know
the price of daggers, but it's half the price of daggers, which is
Like 5 gold.
so.
Daggers are 5 gold?
Daggers are 5 gold. All right. I'll double check up on that, but it's gonna be 2 gold.
The new fish.
Now these shanks are pretty easy to hide. They are stabbing. Like if you get in a fight and you use them, and there's puncture marks. Crazy Carl has made it pretty clear that.
Oh, corrections, 2 gold. My mistake.
2 gold. All right, so it is 1 gold. But he still has expressed his concerns of like you should use this if it's life or death. Kind of like to exemplify. If you just feel like you could get away with it by all means. Violent crimes will be investigated and deaths would be not taken seriously, of course, on either end, player or non-player. So you can kind of see that the female goblin is making sure a lot of your transactions, if anyone's kind of like stepping up to buy it. But if you do want to buy Shank, and if you're here, feel free to pay up 1 gold and you're given a Shank. Now, Shank is basically, if you have the proficiency of a dagger, you could use it. You get the proficiency bonus. And daggers, this one is actually different. It's not a 1d4 plus your dex, it's going to be a 1d2 plus dex.
Oh, this is just an out of character remark. If someone had tavern brawlers, they'd be a god in here.
Yeah, I mean,
Or a monk.
yeah.
That too.
Barbarians.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have any funds, at the moment. Could
You
I
all keep your funds, by the way. I mean, I'm just asking this, seeing this as a DM. You all do have your starting player funds. So I mean, you can continue to say what you're saying. By the way.
Oh, I have
Oh, I
25
didn't know
gold.
that,
Yeah, sorry, I did not make that clear when I took out your inventory. You do have your gold funds. You're starting gold.
Mm.
Gotcha.
All right, so Angelique, continue. Sorry.
I'd like to take two daggers, please.
All right, 2 gold. I do have pipes. They're about the same. So as he kind of gives you 2 shanks, you could tell they're more. They are finely crafted for what they are. Shanks. It's almost like a triangle shaped kind of thing with a nice grip handle by the bottom. They're very easy to hide, by the way. Usually when you try to hide your shank, you get advantage. So yeah.
You also actually can see that the guard is kind of not paying any mind to what's going on. She's just reading a book. Doesn't seem to do anything that's job related. You can't tell why. But you guys can see that it's very lackluster here, as in compared to what your guards, your cell unit was dealing with. So is anyone else buying things just to like speed the process thing?
I'm perfectly all right with that.
if does he sell like tools, like Tinker's tools or anything like that? That I
Uh,
could
You can
You can ask. I do got some
but
tools, but
I just have
I just have mine. I could give him a tip on where to find them.
There
Usually,
is
there is
hobby
a
shop
hobby shop we have here.
It's
It's
gonna cut into
gonna cut into your free time,
but you could go there and
but you
work
could
on
go
it.
there
You're
and
not
work on it. You're
technically
not
allowed
technically allowed
to take anything
to
out.
take anything out.
Kind of, and
You
do
do
notice
notice that
he's
he's kind of almost conflicting what he's saying because he clearly has one in his room, and but he's saying they're not allowed to be outside.
listen, Carl. I just like under the table here. I'm looking for a set of my own to keep in my room.
No, I'm all about that. It's just, it's not. I got this as a gift from the warden.
Right. If you can get your hands on some from me, I'll pay El Primo price for them.
And I am saying that it's very unlikely.
I'm not.
How does
not
one who
so-
sells weapons inside of a jail? How does one like you get gifts from the warden?
Now you find the questions that shouldn't have been asked.
He could tell
You could tell he's really. Give actually persuasion. Let me see. You
I
are
asked
prying.
it. So.
You are prying into questions that shouldn't be asked.
The
The thing is,
he kind of likes
he kind of looks embarrassed a little. Doesn't want to really speak, and he goes,
I really shouldn't.
"I really shouldn't.
I just helped her out.
I just helped her out a long time ago,
and
and
this was just a
this was just a benefit of helping her.
Well, all right.
She's
Good to know.
she's a good
She's
woman.
a good woman.
She's also
She's also firm, and
she's very keen.
she's very keen on
making sure things
things are done right here.
Sadly,
We're all prisoners and inmates, so good luck with that.
Carl, by chance, are you aware of how one might get a specific type of job here?
Yeah,
Be a
be a
good boy.
good boy.
Sit when
Sit
they
when
ask you to
they
sit.
ask you to sit.
Okay,
Also,
but
no.
say I
Be the
wanted to
goblin.
work in the like with the what's it called? Not warden, like for medical and all that stuff.
Well,
You
you
you're unlucky.
you're unlucky. I mean,
Maybe there's a
medical staff here. I'm not really sure about that, but
the main job.
the main job, each
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 block
block
has
has not block. Each block unit has a specialty. We specialize in an assembly line for kind of putting together parts.
That's all determined by what the Akasha Penitentiary staff member gives you. I think it's like a personality trait that you end up getting the jobs by. Not me. I'm retired. I'm a senior. I've been here my whole life. She's a great woman. Please respect her.
Please respect her at all times under my care.
I said it right. Okay.
So you kind of know that these two have quite a chummy, respectful relationship.
She is
She is also a woman. So for one, you see most women do have
the same share.
the same share. The same cell. Same thing with males. As she kind of like what you call it. Look, she is heavily looking at you guys, by the way, looking at small pockets and so on and so on.
They seem to be done.
Yeah, I think you guys seem to be done unless you want to ask for anything else specifically.
And no one else
is buying anything, right?
Uh,
Or asking for anything specifically.
I wanted to buy tools, but he doesn't have any, so.
Yeah.
are you testing your rolls, or is Wig going? Is Wig
Yeah, I'm
going
testing.
ham? Okay.
I'm building my macros and testing my rolls.
No,
So-
Wig is just shanking the hell out of Carl.
Wig just goes fucking feral,
Yeah, it's okay.
killing everyone.
Carl is just like has been stabbed 9 times.
Now, wait, let me see that. 1d4 plus. Alright. Let me just check the damage is correctly. Okay, sweet. Alright. So you all kind of ward away. I think Silas and Rog specifically. Hugo kind of like stepped towards the woman that talked to them earlier. As the rest of you kind of either circulate them or you're out.
She does seem to call out to you guys and goes, "Hey, can I ask you for something?" And you see her kind of like trying to get your gazes. She kind of like moves one cell over to talk to you behind herself. From what you see, she's an Oriental human. You can tell she's from Asia, or at least she seems like she originated from Asia. As far as you can tell, she's wearing MA clothes. It's long hair, about 5'5", very petite. That's all you can see from her right now. Let me see.
You also do see a tiefling cellmate of hers. Is she light white skin? Is that accurate? Can you define that? Yeah, okay, so she's white skin, long hair, kind of.
Purple pale, like a purple.
Oh, like a purple. Light purple. Pale skin. You do see that her jumpsuit's kind of provocative. It's kind of parted halfway in a sense because it's a zipper. So you do see some of her breasts, like intentionally. She does seem like she's into trouble, and she does look at Silas in the front. She kind of winks at you and kind of goes back to reading her book.
Now, if she has an eye patch on, how do I know if that was a wink or just a blink?
Oh, she does have it. Because the eye that's not covered is wink. Well, that's a good question. That's something you have to find out for
Really
yourself.
long.
She does the thing where she kind of like moves her whole head. And I'm like, oh, I get it.
Like leans forward with that side, yeah. So
Yeah, it's just like a super exaggerated blink on like one side of her face.
You can definitely tell that there was flirtation going on in her attempt to when she saw eye to eye.
She goes.
Yeah,
So then she looks at you. I'm guessing she has most of your attention, or is it just you three?
I mean, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here to listen.
She goes, "Hey, look, listen. I heard you guys talking to Crazy Carl now. I have protection, but I mean, I'm not really good with this thing. I was hoping you guys can help me. Perhaps get an arcane, some sort of arcane focus or material components that I can use. I really prefer if you guys could give me some sort of wind or string instrument that I can use." No, don't say arcane.
Well, I'm not crafty type. There's some back behind you. You are.
You've been making mistakes too.
Can't just make an instrument. Yeah, we're new here, so we might not know where to get one.
Well, I would need a string instrument, something like along a harp, maybe a small ukulele, a guitar, whatever you guys can think of, or a wind instrument such as a recorder, a flute. That's if you come across it. That's if you come across it, or anything. That's if you guys want to help me out. I mean, I've been having a hard time coming across one.
This Tiefling kind of comes across like, yeah, Crazy Carl don't got everything. That's for that goddamn sure.
Yes, Frank, I think was his name. He mentioned us retrieving some spell focuses. Do you know where we'd be able to get some of those? Get our hands on them?
No, I mean,
well, technically, you guys have to kind of either, be very resourceful and try to make those things or come across them, steal them. I don't know, but that's what I've seen from other prisoners do around here. Or, I guess, like Carl, he seems to have pulled some favors in or something. I'm not exactly too sure. One thing's for certain, if you don't have anything of that sort, you're going to have a hard time making in the long game here.
So the tiefling behind you grins. Well, we really can't help you on that compartment. That's like she said, be resourceful. I mean,
what is she doing? Is she a mage of some kind or no?
I don't really understand that magic shit, but like I once see I once saw this guy. I think he's one of those crazy voodoo guys. He made a whole doll made out of pubes. Isn't that shit crazy?
It's more disturbing than crazy.
Disturbing is crazy. That's basically a synonym of the word. Listen, I'm just saying you could get creative with this kind of shit. The things you've seen in here. Yeah. I mean, Sean, I mean, you said you need a musical instrument, right? Why not drums?
I mean, they can probably help, but I prefer a wind or a string instrument. I'm really proficient in that.
Alright, I'm just saying. What's so hard about banging a drum? Am I right? And she kind of looks at Silas one more time. What's so hard about banging a drum?
Yeah.
So she kind of looks like you're disinterested and kind of like gets almost off put as she goes back to her. Well, I guess she goes back to the bathroom area and kind of like tends to herself. So you do see the rest of the block. There's these people kind of you don't see Frank Gritty.
Does it come in?
Yeah, you don't see Frank Gritty. He's kind of just walking about. You do see the others, and if you guys wanted to kind of like almost talk to anyone else here, by all means, you do see one person that doesn't have a cellmate, so you could probably impose that maybe Frank Gritty's from there. And other than that, it's most of them seem to be keeping to themselves. The bitter man does look at you a bit, and he goes to the goblin. Hey, you're a strange one. And he's kind of like calling you over, like almost like to understand if you're like a creature of reasoning. Hugo.
Because a long force into a defense position.
Oh, I don't mean any of that. You know what? You're new here, right?
Yes, why do you ask?
You see, these guys aren't really good in defining what you can get. I myself was pretty new. You know what? You do me a favor. This one's on the house. The things you could ask for are almost anything. I've seen people have guardians and even like bookshelves, standard kits, and maybe even a medical center itself. There's no harm in asking. Is the general rule among us inmates. Sometimes we get it as long as we don't find a way to make it into a weapon. You know, we're more likely to get it.
Yeah.
Now I'll do you. Now you do me a solid. I'm kind of looking for a book. It's called
The Devil Inside.
The Devil Inside Me.
The Catcher in the Rye.
Oh wait, no, that's the one I read already.
And he kind of
looks through the things. I need the Catcher in the Rye.
It's in the library.
It's in the library. I don't really have access to it yet. You guys won't either.
Unless
you ace your interviews, that is.
Interviews.
Yeah. Get your jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
Believe me,
it's
gonna be
more.
The
more you
kind of play nice
with these guards and so on, the more you're rewarded.
It's like
a trust system with them as well. You get me this book? Yeah. Be a great solid for me.
All right. Well, we can do it.
And he kind of goes back to like reading and stuff, and as he kind of like sits down and wells,
he kind
Yeah,
of.
he kind of.
You guys all kind of.
You guys all kind of like what's the word?
Congregate.
Congregate.
Most of the others
Seem to keep to themselves, including the man that's kind of
by
like
himself.
by himself as well. Hello, Edwin.
So
So
what did you guys do?
what did you guys do? And do you guys kind of want to like
get used to
the
the
prison layout, or are
more
you
interested
more
in
interested in
waiting for this
waiting for
interview
this
to happen?
interview to
Or
happen,
do you guys
or
want
do you
to
guys
go
want
back
to
to
go back to your
yourselves and
kind of speak more as characters and
get to know
or
each other?
get to know each other?
Me personally, I'll be down more to get to know each other.
Yeah. We're walking around a bit of a as a group right now, but we really know nothing about each other.
Mix the missions. All
All right. So as you guys kind of walk back to yourselves, you do notice that Acantha and Fern Mare, the two females part of your unit, have kind of
grown closer.
You
grown
can just call her
closer.
Fern. You know.
Fern, yeah,
First
Fern.
name.
All right, Fern and Acantha have been like getting closer and kind of conversating more and more. They're not. Are you guys still? You guys are no longer in that corner. Is there any like insight to your conversations now or here while they're walking in on you?
Right now, I assume they're both facing away from, well, the guards, so they're facing into the cell. So, I mean, maybe they can overhear the conversation. I don't know.
Walker's speaking real quietly, almost barely above a whisper.
Gotcha. So you both kind of like trying to keep it away from the ears of the guard itself. What are you guys talking about?
You already brought it. Oh,
Okay, so you're both okay.
Girly stuff.
Gotcha. So as you guys are bonding, you do see the kind of the guys you walked in with, kind of all walking in, kind of gathered, and they seem the expressions vary, you know. You do also see that this guard is kind of like midway of walking out. All right, the next guard will be here in a few. As you all see, Mason, kind of like just give you a nod and head off. So you do all have free like territory, free territory.
Actually, while Mason nods, I was gonna say quickly as Mason nods to us, nod back. Like out of respect, I guess.
Alright. So is there anyone specifically that wants to speak, or do you all want to congregate in a room, or?
I think we're sort of congregating outside right now,
Gotcha.
like in the common space.
Gotcha. So this common space, you're all like, it's pretty spacious. Pretty nice for a prison in a sense. The sense that you're given a lot of space to kind of roam in a sense. Acantha and Fernie do notice as they start talking. Feel free to open up conversation amongst you.
All right.
Well, so I don't know if this is necessarily the best of subjects to broach, but I, for one, don't really want to spend the rest of my life living in this prison, and I think my main goal right now would be to get out.
All right, we've been here for about an hour and we're already plotting an escape. I like it.
I don't know about you, but I don't belong here. I'm in here for something that I didn't start, so I want out.
Renner, you're a bit low. I'm not sure if anyone can. A bit low.
Try just turn up this volume.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. Continue.
I just said I want out of here. I don't belong here. I'm not supposed to be here. I want out.
Nice. And Edwin?
No, I was gonna say after that, like here and there, like why is everyone here specifically? If no one minds sharing.
All right, show and tell. I like it.
Each other.
Yep, I blew up the research department of the Arctic Industries.
A majority of you would know what might know Artec. I think Renner definitely. Silas, you have heard of them, but you don't know the specifics. Hugo Rod, you wouldn't know, and as well Roland, you're a bit too young. As for the two women that are in the thing, Fern, you might also have heard of it, and Acantha, you do not know you don't know it at all. So Arctech is pretty much a company industry that leads in arcane technology and creating experiments. They were the company responsible for constructs.
I also kind of assume that given the notoriety of the crime, that again, anybody who's really been abreast of the news has at least some passing knowledge of my.
Yes, yes. Like I said, I think that still stands with most of you, minus Wild Tree and Hog.
Well, anyone else interested in sharing?
Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
I guess honestly, I'm more interested in like what sort of skills everyone has. I mean, I think we've all agreed we want to get out, but I guess I'm a little, I'd kind of like to know what everyone can do. I am exceedingly stealthy, and with the proper tools, I can open doors.
Excuse me, you two.
Yes.
How are you doing in there? Do you care to join us? We're all neighbors.
Oh, sure. I don't think it'd be that bad.
I mean, it's entirely up to you, but we're socializing. You can join.
All right. And yeah, she'll like get up after a bit. And yeah, join the group.
As Fern kind of like walks to kind of join these speaking men, Acantha, you shyly walk behind her, trying to muster the confidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of keep close to Fern while Walker walks.
Walker walks. Nice.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
So as you joined the thing, the last he heard was Silas offering that he pretty much blew up an area, and then also I think it was Renner, I think specifically, I'm not sure, that asked what skill sets do you guys have to?
So
Wait,
Yeah, it was Wig asking.
yeah.
Wait.
Who did you say blew up an area?
Wig.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, as far as party,
That's an actual.
I'm sorry. Let me just clarify the room. As far as party, you have heard that Wig did blow up a pretty much an office, or
Yeah.
and you also heard that Renner stated he shouldn't be here. Something happened to him that was unfair, and now he's here, and he does feel the same way that Wig feels. He doesn't want to be here.
Gotcha. So Fern, continue.
Sorry. Where did the conversation last leave off between player characters?
What skill sets are each of you? But feel free to like speak as.
Oh, skill sets. Huh. And she like looks around to see if there are any guards in the vicinity.
There are none currently.
After
You're being conscious of the opening as well. You don't really quite see anyone as well.
Yeah, so after just like making sure that there are no guards, like kind of looking over trying to look over some of the other, inmates, she like, well, I can do this, and with one hand, kind of snaps her fingers and a little mote of fire comes into existence. And, she's just holding it out. I can do things like that. And I don't really know what that would be used for in a place like this. I mean, we all didn't do. I'm sure not all of us have done horrible things, right?
She does.
Well, it depends on what your definition of horrible is.
I mean, I'd say killing someone or, anything like that.
Yeah, it depends on what your definition of it. Sometimes there's a mercy killing. You kill someone because they wish for it. Then there's the type of killing that you just do for pleasure.
So the kind of dark dress. Well, not anymore, but the dark-haired 5'5" elf says that his name is Mavello, Roland Mavello.
Name is Roland. Roland. You can just address me as Roland. Honestly, the reason I on what everyone was in here for was because if we're gonna be working together, I would rather clean what
You are breaking up a
I'm
little.
hearing.
When you
Can
are
you hear me
breaking
now?
up a little. It's a little foggy.
Hello?
Yeah, you're better now.
There you go.
Time number 3. How's it going?
Great.
So
Sorry,
he.
can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Still lagging.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, honestly trying my best with the hotspot right now.
All right.
Ben, I was saying that my character Roland just wanted to try coming clean and just put it out there what got him drawn in this place to see how everyone else would react to it.
Gotcha. So
he has kind of said, depends with sometimes there's
different
different kinds of murders. Some of them could be mercy killings,
you
and you can kind of see this.
all
All
of
of
you
you
actually
actually see this kind of very worn look in his eyes. It's almost dampening, like it's droopy, and there's clear sadness in it. There's in torture. You can't quite put it. It's almost like if you're not really like the empathetic fellow, you would want to turn away. But it's very. This man has seen scars, and they have been cut.
Right. That's kind of creepy, but okay.
Fair enough. Now everyone's been cursed to have to see someone die right in front of them.
So as the mood kind of dampens, the idea is that you guys are really are strangers after all, and you all like look from left to right, and you do see a goblin, kind of there. Hugo, what is it exactly? How are you involving yourself in this conversation? Are you still just observant?
Yeah, he's mostly observant unless he's addressed.
Right. Well, if that's all you wanted to talk about, then
Pretty mustache.
I'm probably gonna go back into my cell.
As you guys are talking and finishing like the atmosphere that's going on, you can see a guard come in. He looks at you guys. He's a little confused of what's going on. He's like, "Oh, okay, we're already friends here, huh? That's what's going on."
She's immediately just gonna snuff out that flame like the moment he steps in.
Yeah, I imagine he didn't hold. Okay, yeah. He didn't go in. He was more focused on why there's a group of people over here. Okay, could just come on in, right? Things are just gonna go your way. Can everybody just get the fuck back in yourselves, please?
Is it nighttime or you just like this?
Oh man, I'm a parole officer here. I'm technically a god as far as the shift goes. I just need everyone to go back in the shift before I lose my shit. I haven't had a
I
good day.
mean, I don't have a problem with that, but you don't have to be rude about it.
You guys don't have to be slow about it either.
Last time I checked, the only curfew here was 9 p.m. I don't think it's 9 p.m., is it?
Fair.
We also don't have a clock, so we couldn't actually tell if it was 9 p.m. either.
If they give me my tools back, I might be able to make you one, Wig, but these guys, they won't let me have my tools.
I understand. If we could get him some tools, he could make us a clock.
Listen, man, I got the clock. It's right here, as he points to his head. I just need you guys to go back in your rooms. I've come to realize I might have come a little passive aggressive. Now, please just go back into your rooms. You will be having your appointment later? No, 2 days from now.
You cut out. I think
Yeah.
you stopped.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was discussing with my DM, co-DM. Just need you guys to go back in your rooms. On the shift. I know you guys are new. I just want to see where you guys are right now. Put the faces next to the names.
All right.
I reluctantly walk back to my cell.
Does he check them out?
So as you guys disperse, you do notice that who does have high perception?
Passive is 16.
Nice.
Gotcha. Anyone past 15 passive will notice that
No,
he's kind of,
I got passive wisdom 16.
anyone with above passive 15 will notice that this particular guard who's kind of brown hair, he does have a brown mustache, kind of like dressed in the guard's uniform. So this is basically like modern day police kind of uniform, SWAT kind of thing, like what you see in terms of seat belt kind of type. I mean pants and a badge there, kind of like stick out. You do see a utility belt on him as well. But when you see him, those above 15 do, he kind of gives improper looks at Fernmere and Akita. Acantha's body as you guys walk away.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'll take that and whisper to Salas. Like, hey, you see that?
See what?
Huh? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Broke up.
Oh, sorry. I see what? I wasn't paying much attention.
The guard is apparently checking out the two women back there.
Hey, yeah.
He wants to keep an eye on him. Things might not be safe for them here.
2 days later?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days later.
Especially with his current attitude.
That's a good point. I don't like his attitude. You got a keen eye.
Mechanical door closes?
Yeah, let's keep an eye out, especially with
Mechanical
their cell being the closest to his little station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, right?
Something tells me he might have ulterior motives while being here.
That's the next day, right? No, yeah, next day. Yeah,
Well,
we're just gonna say it's the next day.
We'll keep an eye out.
So as conversations take place, yeah.
Oh, there's one thing I actually wanted to try and do. So you know with prestidigitation, you can make one small object and you can have up to 3 effects from prestidigitation going on all at once.
Yeah.
Okay, can I make a small hand mirror?
A small hand mirror? What do you mean by a small hand mirror?
A small hand mirror, you know, like...
Oh, mirror. Okay.
Yeah, mirror.
Let's see. It says there, let's see. Small, you create a non-magical trinket or illusionary image that can be fit in your hand. Now, it's not a... It has to be like a pocket watch mirror in a sense. It can be one with a handle where the mirror kind of sticks out. Does that make sense?
That's coming from
Okay. Damn, I'm not within range for what I... you know what? I'll see an opportunity.
Yeah,
It does have to fit in. So it has to be like a pocket mirror.
Yeah, okay, no.
It's fine. He's asking.
Instead of doing that, I'm just gonna. I'll wait to see what happens, and then I'll use prestidigitation for something.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
Sweet.
The
After some time, you do see the guard kind of like continuing to write like the paper reports in front of him, kind of almost picking up where the last one left off, and you see him kind of like look at you and kind of make writing marks, and you almost feel like he's doing notes.
There is another guard coming in, and he's like, "All right, inmates, past 9. Doors are closing. It's the end of the day." So as he walks by each cell, making sure you guys are a good distance away, he does close the doors.
So it's like
Does he manually lock the door with a key?
No, it would be.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He closes the door. You hear a little lock. You see him use a key, and he just locks it.
Is he using the same key for every door?
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
Would like the tumbler sounds from the different locks that he's locking, like would they be making the same noises? Like they're all like one universal lock, or
Yeah, you could tell, especially as background is very much a universal lock. You do all see as well that the key when he's pulled out, there's a handful of keys, but they are also when he gets closer to you, and if you're paying attention to this guard, you could tell that the keys are kind of labeled in a sense. They just have like a tape with like 2 letters basically on each one. But it is a universal lock on all of you. You can tell it very easily because he's using the same key, and it's it's the same key. Well, just for the cell unit, from what you've seen so far, you're not quite sure what you've seen in others. So you do see the thing close, and you guys are kind of like sleeping, not sleeping, but you're like in your thoughts alone with your roommates and sorts.
The day has caught up to you. It's by the end of the night. For some reason, you guys do feel the incision earlier from the data chip. Nothing in particular. It's more like when you lay your head or whatever you guys are doing, you kind of notice that it's kind of there. Like, there's a little like itch. There's like a small little itch coming from it.
Gotcha.
But if you guys don't respond to the itch, it kind of just, the feeling goes away.
Yeah. Now, feel free to discuss next, or you guys all like calling it in for the night.
Probably just gonna head to sleep.
All right, Silas is sleeping. Reiner?
Yeah.
Outsourced for Mare.
Is anyone
Is
specific?
anyone specifically doing anything?
I'm gonna pass out.
I was gonna see if my roommate's still awake.
He is not.
Okay, then with that, I'll be going to sleep.
Gotcha. Now you are an elf, technically. You only require 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So you
will be kind of like up for a while unless you feel asleep and then you just wake up early. Either is fine. Or you could just double rest. But hey.
Hugo
Rod goes and curls up in a basket? Basil? Oh, wow, nice. Okay, and you notice it's under like the goblin's kind of almost like a small creature. It's almost like you're kind of questioning the not the intelligence, but like is this really a creature that's is this a humanoid that has reason or like logical thinking? As you are kind of like looking at him, you do go to your bunk, right? Underlake.
Yep.
Right. Is he still wearing I don't know. You mentioned earlier about the.
He is in his jumpsuit.
I know you mentioned. Yeah. Okay. So everybody's wearing the same jumpsuit.
Yeah.
He was wearing some kind of if you remember him from the bus, he was wearing like a dinosaur kind of a lizard or some kind of different, like a costume of a sort.
but he was wearing.
but he was wearing it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, he was wearing a kind of like a dinosaur-ish costume, kind of red, and he kind of chewed his current jumpsuit into one as
Onto what?
into a makeshift dinosaur-ish costume.
Gotcha. So you try to pull like a tail, but it looks like a rip. Give me a sleight of hand. See how well that came out. And that's yeah, you know you've done this before, and you could feel like you fit an entire all your suits to look like somewhat of a dinosaur appearance. And the orange spec does help. It's a lot like your old costume. If you had your hat, you feel like you would have been a legit dinosaur. Is to the point of where it's at. Funny crafted. You do go to bed. Under Lake, you do recall this, and I'm also thinking you're also heading to bed, right?
Yeah.
I think we should introduce the next thing.
Yeah. So as time passes, you do kind of hear a whistle from the guards outpost. You're not sure why, but you did hear it. If you're like a light sleeper, if not, hey, you
Passive
missed out.
16, light sleeper.
Gotcha. You do hear a whistle. It was kind of coming from the outpost, and it's from that the guy with the mustache, the guy with the mustache. Brenna, are you doing anything specific in your cell, by the way?
I was just gonna rummage through the desk and check under like all the mattresses and the beds and stuff, see if I can find anything that somebody might have stashed in the room before me or something.
All right, give me an investigation check. So you do know like some nifty tricks and places to hide. You do see under the desk panel was like double floor. You do find a hammer like in the bottom, and you do see some nails along the thing. So like to your success, you actually find a hammer with like maybe 10 nails, all the same size.
Spring.
Okay.
You want to give me springs from the bed,
pocket
right?
them
And maybe you feel like maybe this is one of the plates. Maybe we do some more. This seems like the room seems to belong to a very resourceful person. You don't know him, but hey, if he was thinking this out, maybe he'll look out and find more stuff another time.
It's gonna say springs from the bed. Right.
Oh, you also do collect springs from the bed, but it will make your thing slightly lumpy but not uncomfortable.
Okay. No, yeah, I'll collect a few springs and just keep the nails handy.
Gotcha.
So as
night passes, most of you to your thoughts or your dreams, and I think if anyone, Salis, you do hear a kind of a elf, kind of like not content with not only content because he's in prison, but like he looks uncomfortable. He's clearly not okay. He's ticking. He's like overthinking. You see the signs of irrationality in a sense.
Does this wake me up?
No, because it's not aggressive. It's just like deep thinking, but not positive kind. And this is their character Roland that's kind of having these like reactions to the whole thing.
I guess
go on. Sorry.
I would say like most likely like having like while he's asleep is like the images of the
break here 5 minutes.
caused him to be here as that keeps flashing into his head.
All right. So right now is the perfect time for a break. If anyone wants to grab water, go to the bathroom. Do you guys want a 5-minute break or or a bit more than that?
Oh no, I can definitely take a break right now. I need water.
Yeah.
I need to go get food. I haven't eaten yet. So.
Gotcha. So
do you guys want to do this a 10-minute break or a 5? I'm fine with either.
We could pick it up at
We could pick it up at 11.
All right, so we'll pick it
All
up.
right, so we'll pick it up in 8 minutes, which for us is 11. So the next, whatever, round it up to the next time. Yeah, top of the hour.
All
All right.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good. I'll be right back.
Cool. We're fading. You think so? No, no. We're kind of so like, we're loud guys. We're like yeah. I can say that I can also once you develop of the day, I need more of the mustache man. You mean more of your guards, Mason's there. Mason's back. Mason's back. Yeah, and Mason's there. Mustache. Yeah. Because that mustache is the night guard. You want to make Mason one of the the people that wants to be part of the fight club? Yeah, because he likes gold. Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't that. Yeah, every sense. Yeah, and Runa has pointed to me that he would really must go with anyone. So we'll ask Walker Runa. The thing is, everyone's kind of fading, but I'm giving you the disadvantage. This is just that he's into. We'll ask. I mean, first you know that. It's not that bad. I mean, he started doing I was trying to point it out. I want them to do that in the car. But the reason that's happening, you have to that's yeah. He's seven, but I'm just leaving it down. He also tried cosplay, role playing. Okay, so you know the one that role play released? Yeah. But he's role playing. I'm pretty sure with a smaller group, it's going to be more. Yeah. Systemically, it would be 4 to 2 to 3 cells. That's my goal. I'm not talking to you. That conversation between Andre, but it was friend and Walker. I got what you're saying. Well, friend and Walker were no, what's that? No, they weren't. They weren't. They were actually over. Oh, they were in the south. Yeah, see. So when you were like, can you guys go play that? And you guys go play all that. So that, yeah, but you're also quite no, it's not. I was gonna try to explain to see what cherry, but I didn't know the 25 was doing like it's not doing that good. They can't right down. I am showing the question the faces of players. But there's quite good. He's not happy yet. He's not even happy now. No, no. Right, oh, you mentioned it. Very clear. How much time we got left, Logan? Right now. No time at all. Alright, let me go get a bottle of water. Alright, I'm back.
I'm back too.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Everyone feeling refreshed. Got what they got. Still waiting on Brian. He's getting a bottle of water just to drink along the way.
Yeah, I'm back. I just have food, so I'm just gonna be eating while muted.
Alright, cool.
Wonderful. Same.
So that's both Mikey and who else got food? Was it you, Calder?
Me.
Alright, gotcha. I'll make mental notes. Both Calder and Mikey are eating, but they'll still continue to participate or not. Matthew and who? Calder.
Alright. Hello.
Oh no, Kulinov and Calder. Okay.
So everyone's here, but you know, two of us are kind of like just busy eating, right? Push to talk. Sweet.
So
So Hugo and I are looking at the guy with the mustache.
By the way,
I don't mind the in conversation, the text roleplay. It's hard to pay attention to it. So if you do want to ask an NPC or I don't mind if that comes to fruition. Like I said, if you guys are like talking out loud and kind of making sure, but just like you
I
know.
think the thing is like with typing and speaking, it's like if people are already speaking but you want to like do something or communicate something, typing is the nice
That's
way to do
fair.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Non-relevant conversation to the storyline.
Definitely,
Makes more
definitely.
sense in the chat, right?
Yeah, definitely. But like, if you're asking for specific stuff to the to an NPC, I won't be able to read it right away. My brother's doing trying to keep me updated on that though, so it's fine. I'm just giving a caution that I'm not always, or him himself might not be paying attention, vice versa. But yeah, feel free to continue to do so, especially if it's non-relevant and you guys are just building up to kind of get to know each other as characters, even through text. That's fine. Sweet. If we're all here,
I think Everett, are you there? I haven't heard you talk.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, Wig.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so Everett, and I believe Walker, you're there, just to make a roll call on voices, because I think I have.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, so I think we're all here then. We're all here, bro.
gotcha. Hugo is a goblin, and that's what you're specifically asking for.
And
I was asking about classes to kind of get an idea of what everyone can do.
Gotcha. Feel free to ask that in character too as well. I mean, okay.
Well, I think because of how big the party is,
Yeah.
it takes forever to get everyone to kind of in character do that kind of stuff.
I will have a conversation about the party size. But till then, yeah, okay, gotcha. So the next day, you all kind of wake up. The only one that would notice is let's see, rolling, because since you went to sleep earlier, you woke up 4 hours earlier. You do notice that around the morning, maybe like 5 or 6 a.m. The mustache guy kind of walks off, finishing his shift, and Mason kind of comes back in, kind of like seeing that you're awake gives you're not really surprised because he knows you are an elf, and it's very it's just common knowledge about the whole 4 hours at this point.
Okay, well, I out of courtesy, since he was kind enough to acknowledge me, I do give him a wave.
So as he kind of like sits down, turns to the desk, he looks like he's reading notes. Kind of, you personally see that. Give me a perception or insight check.
Insight.
And he gave the most shots by the way.
Oof.
You hear me? The other guy? Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone.
Oh.
So you're basically just you see that he's reading, but like maybe you just don't understand why. You don't understand him. You don't know him well to understand his text, but you even think that he seems distressed for some reason. That's to the level of how much you might not understand this guy. Time does passes. He's reading, and the days actually goes pretty fast. This is the second day you're given to kind of settle in. You're given kind of a you're going to the cafeteria, you eat, and it's kind of almost uneventful. Then you kind of repeat the process of kind of going back to sleep and waking up as the second day. Of course, you would venture here and there amongst yourself. Now, this is the day where your interview kind of takes place.
During this period of time, I think I'd like to search my cell.
Gotcha. You did talk to anyone that wants to do like a quick, fast time period. By all means, feel free to tell me. Give me an investigation.
I was gonna say I'd like to try to see if I could talk to Mason since he is the guard on with us most of when we're awake for the most part.
You seem
Try
to know
if I can.
that you do seem to notice through the second day that there's the guard shift. There's 4 guards in total, and most of them cover 2 shifts. Mason, you do talk to Mason, and what is it exactly you're trying to speak of?
I get to see like how the structure is, like about the whole guard shifts, like who she takes. Like, and get more about the mustache guys, and so I guess
Mustache.
rude, like not rude, but I guess abrasive when he first came in?
Well, I mean,
Like, is he maybe what was his deal? Like maybe how to avoid getting on his bad side?
What's mustache? Yeah. Take care of this.
give me a kind of a persuasion first.
Hello.
Give me a persuasion roll. And Wiggle, you unfortunately you are checking every nook and cranny. This is something you're used to. This room has been picked clean. Your room is kind of empty. Or were you looking for anything specifically, like a weapon or just anything of interest?
I'm looking for anything. I'm also looking to see if there have been any messages left behind. And generally, I'm keeping an eye out for any thieves' markings and such.
No, this room particularly hasn't have maybe the previous owner or the previous cellmates were like they're pretty plain boring people. You do see some a paper that's kind of torn, but it's pretty much a love note, a poem in a sense. You'd think maybe it was a bard or a poet that was here before, and you do find some dust bunnies. Maybe this place isn't the cleanest, and other than that, you kind of just see Hugo staring at you.
Keep the paper.
All right. It's crumbled. But yeah, keep it. Now, Ewan, I did ask for. I mean, sorry, Roland, I did ask for a persuasion.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey,
He's asking for a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Sorry,
Am I present right
my thing was acting up, so I couldn't hear.
it could have been. Oh, okay.
No, honestly, I can't really hear. It keeps breaking, coming in and out. It keeps disconnecting.
All right, so we'll see what happens in a bit. As for now, if it keeps going up, we'll talk on the side. Mason looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, no, that guy's name is. What's his name? Hold on,
Looking for his name.
yeah, I'm looking for his name. Don't think of
Notes.
notes. Oh yeah, that's Herman, but don't call him that. People here call him Mustache because of his mustache, but don't call him that either. Just he likes being called Gaston, which is his last name. I guess it shows a sign of respect. But yeah, there's no going around that guy. Honestly, if I were you, just try to stay on his good side as best as you can. It's not a pleasant fellow. I mean, most inmates we back up against each other, but just,
Wait, are they talking about the creepy guy?
Yeah.
Security guys. We back each other up, but some are characters.
Just want to make sure that I can make sure not only just myself but the rest of us can make sure to avoid any issues with him at all if possible.
He's above me. Yeah. Well, just stay clear and just do what he says. Honestly. Yeah. It's not really that harmful. At least I don't think so.
Okay.
And he tells us he tells you, keep this between you and me though.
Wait, I couldn't hear.
Keep this between me. Mason says as he likes to say.
He's pretty much telling you not to go around and say this because he doesn't want this going around.
I couldn't hear what it was though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think you're having really bad internet issues. Because if you can't hear, I think
Really
it's
am.
you. I got you.
It's just me. It's just my phone's hotspot.
Yeah. For now, we'll move on, and
Anyone
Okay.
else wants to
Anyone else wants to do anything like considered as a
pastime
during this whole day that kind of went through? You all do go to the cafeteria. I'll do the honors of explaining it much later. But for now, you find yourselves at the end of the day. What have you? Has anyone else done anything for this day that might they might want to do as a quick
Wait,
pastime?
the whole day has passed?
Yeah. I'm gonna like time forward this kind of peaceful day.
Okay, yeah, no, just chill in my room.
I'd like to. Well, I'm assuming we have pillows on our beds. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Are they covered in a pillowcase, or are they just like just a pillow?
A pillowcase.
No, I see.
No, I see. Well, yeah, because
Yeah, just a pillow.
yeah, this is a pillow because you kind of use the cloth for strangulation. So pillow.
Is there sheets on the bed, or?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I'd like to take the sheets off and try and wrap them around the head of the hammer that I found in my room, and then I want to crawl into the back of the thing and I want to start trying to kind of straighten the springs I found, see if I can like hammer them flat into like a more usable shape.
All right.
I don't know what for yet, but
Sure.
Sure.
Seems like
Since you're a craftsman, this seems something simple for you to do. You're always thinking of creative ways to make one object more adaptable and useful. So you do this fairly easy over the time, of course. And you are putting your sheets back, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. After I'm done with it, but I don't want to be in my room like clang, clang, clang.
Yeah, I figured.
With the metal hammer, right?
Nice,
nice.
Muffle that sound a little bit.
Hey, that's pretty cool actually. So as you get your things done, is there anyone else? Salis, Matthew. I mean, Hugo,
or
Akenta.
Nope.
What's the lighting in here? Is it torches or like light fixtures?
Light fixtures actually, right?
light fixtures.
Yeah, light fixtures. You see like kind of on the top of the roof. You see like a electronic light kind of thing. You do see a cover made of plastic, like you would see like in a hospital, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Then yeah, I'm just gonna hang around all day, kind of not do much.
Gotcha. If everyone's kind of done with their night, time passes.
1 second.
Yeah.
Are there windows on these back walls?
No, not at all.
Oh, actually, I do have something I'd like to try.
So is there any reason you want to know if there's windows, or you just want to make a note of it?
Yeah, I just want to know if there are windows there.
Gotcha. No, most of the light source comes from the
Also, what else did you want to try?
All right, I would like to try something. So during one of the meals in the day, right?
Mhm.
We're giving cups to drink out of, I'd imagine.
Yeah, maybe non-friendly environmental. The paper plastic cups.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll take one of those.
Alright.
And is there any way I could just take it back with me to my cell?
You can, but you have to like kind of stealth it. It will be with disadvantage. Depends on where you're trying to hide it exactly.
I just want to bring it up and put it like back here.
No, I understand, but how are you hiding it? Because it's not something that's really allowed to take out. How are you hiding this paper clip? Are you putting it in your pockets? Are you putting it in your hair? How are you hiding this inside your jumper suit?
Yeah, I'd probably put it in there. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to build. I just need a cup.
All right.
Give me a stuff.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
There's too many people to kind of like. You have to be aware of the guards. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand, but it's gonna be more difficult than just stealthing something.
Okay. I mean, they're the same bonus for me. It really doesn't matter.
All right.
I'm
saying that the DC for them is different rather than.
Was that a disadvantage or?
No, because you're not hiding it in your jumpsuit. You're kind of like playing with the eye movements. If you recall, I told you the prison jumpsuits were the reason they have pockets and even it's just really hard hiding things within the jumpsuit. But since you're doing a sleight of hand thing, it's pretty much a straight check. You're using the blind spots and the size of the cup to kind of like hide it from them, and you do pass through.
All right. And it's a paper cup. It's not like sturdy.
It's plastic. There's a bit of sternness to it, but not like if you like hit someone with it, it's gonna like crunch or something. Like it's not the sturdiest, but it's not like feet.
Okay, so it's
Okay, so it's done
Is
by
there
the
is there
medium.
is there water in the toilet?
Yes.
All right, then I'll just fill the cup up with toilet water and just put it down somewhere that's like out of sight. So probably behind the partition here.
Sure.
Sure. You have a cup of toilet water
Yep.
in the corner. Nice.
For what?
For what? Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I love it.
All right.
All right. So
I
I think we went through everyone. Right.
So
So the night goes by. As the next morning, you wake up to the same rotations. You meet a one of the guards kind of comes in and goes like, "All right, line up, all of you."
Outside.
Over here in the lobby.
Oh, okay, we're all just going out. Cool.
Yeah, like he just wants you out of your cells. And this is a guard that's not hasn't been part of your shift. Female. No, not it's not female, but hey, she's a female. Half orc. She kind of like looks at the lot of you. And,
She got one at a time. That's how many shots they have. No, 2 at a time.
all right, so she's like she points to
Renner and Mare.
Renner and Mare, and she like wiggle the tooth. She does like a wiggle finger, which asks you guys to step up and all right, you two are gonna come with me.
And she kind of
takes
the rest of you
the rest of you kind of stay back as Renner and Fern Mare kind of like ask to follow.
Sure. Well, give
I'm
it.
just saying you'll nearly have to use the first name.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Fern Mare. I'm just trying to. I'll if you use one first name, sure. All right, so as you guys follow, you go to the hallways. I'm hearing knocks. You go to the hallway, and she leads you to a room, kind of different from the thing. She leads you out completely, and it's quite a long walk as well. It's like maybe a 10-minute walk, which is kind of long. The rest of you are kind of left behind. No longer asked to stay in the line. You could tell that she just wanted to make sure you're all accounted, or for some reason she just asked you to line up. The half-orc woman kind of points to a room, and she opens the door. And you guys see this.
Like
You
we
guys-
each brought to separate rooms, or
No, this.
With the wine,
Just Fern. Fern for now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're asked. Fern is asked to go in, and Renner, you're outside with the guard.
You're waiting by a red door, and Fern
Alright.
walks in the red door.
Alright, confused. She walks in.
You walk into a white painted room. It has nice modern walls, a good modern table with 4 tables. With 4 chairs. There seems to be a light source coming from the top, and you see like metallic screens in front of the lights. So you see like where the light's coming from. You see that the light bulbs are protected from anything. This is like the prison area.
So this is the same light sources you will see throughout in your cells and sorts.
These ones
are more well maintained and clean compared to the ones in your cell. But this is the light fixtures you all have.
You do see on the table with across from you a half orc and a gnome sitting, and you can the half orc pretty much. Fernmere.
Just approach.
and it's this half orc is basically dressed like as a guard, but there's a kind of a stage of importance to him. He's heavily more armored than the rest. He seems quite fashion and dapper, like well maintained. And the gnome is a smaller gnome, but he's not dressed in a guard attire. He seems to be currently he has a lab coat on. It's white and kind of like one of those typical lab coats. He does have goggles on too, but he leaves them on.
I am Guilford Warflock. I am Cellblock Speed, head of security. This is your interview. We have come to ask you questions, and at the end of this interview, we're going to give you your job position in Acacia Penitentiary.
Yes, my man here is correct. I am Dr. Solar. I am the interviewer. You will be the interviewee. Please, sit.
Okay.
So at ease. This is it's just some questions. Nothing more, nothing less.
You do see the half-orc reading notes, by the way.
Okay.
In your first day, you've accumulated over 5 shots based off
Just performance, I see. Huh?
on your first day. It's not good. It's not good. It shows we gotta keep out an eye for you. You used magic. Seems like reported used it as if it were nothing, as if you weren't in the prison to begin with. Says
I mean, no one told me that it wasn't okay until I did it, so.
I see. I guess we should increase propaganda and more papers on the rules and the customs that we expect from our prisoners here. I'll make sure to bring it up with the head of staff as well.
I don't think it's a problem if it doesn't hurt anyone.
And that's where you're wrong.
you are in a prison for hurting someone. Says here you tried stealing, accosted a man. That's why you're here.
That was an accident.
You don't steal by accident.
No, not stealing, but I don't mind.
Still, you're here, and it's not because you're innocent. I guess you don't really seem to grasp the consequences of your actions.
I mean, stealing bread isn't the worst crime in the world.
No, it's not. But you did physically harm the man while you were robbing.
Correct,
Correct, Mrs.
No, I didn't harm the man I robbed. I was being chased. I don't remember who they were, but I accidentally caused a little bit of damage. But they should be fine. I don't know.
Oh,
I see. And you could tell that he's kind of like writing into his notes, kind of scratching out stuff. Regardless, you have been found of your crime, guilty for 1 year and a half. It is a light sentence. But as the warden has said, this is the opportunity to integrate. I need to ask, why do you need to steal bread? Were you under the stress of poverty?
Yeah.
Deception.
Well, I mean, it's not really deception in that instance.
Hey, feel free to. I guess give me a overall persuasion or kind of charisma. It's up to you.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll do persuasion.
So from here on out, you could tell that he seems to kind of understand you more. He doesn't seem to be questioning your truth, or like he doesn't think that you're gonna straight out just flat out lie to him. You gathered this from his him just nodding and writing writing as you speak.
What's the shittiest job we can give her? Because she did use magic.
All right, so you don't really have the best standing. We didn't know about magic not being used, and maybe that's a bit on us. However, it is still a shot, and you have been warned. You have a total of five, was it?
That's still quite a
That's still quite a number.
on
On
your
your
on your
first two
nights.
nights.
Mm,
Just
one.
just one, huh?
But
But you did
rather
behave
exceptionally
rather
well on the
exceptionally
second.
well on the second. I mean, that has to count for something.
Sanitation. Not like you. Yeah, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, I was just offer her sanitation. Have her mop the floors around when they need it.
I
I
think this you are correct, fellow. He kind of like writes down. It's like you'll be in sanitation. You'll report to.
And he looks at
And he looks at the.
well, who's the guard? Give a mustache.
You'll report to
Gaston.
Herman Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston should be okay.
Which person was that again?
You
You can find him in your block. I think he has your shift. Yeah, he's a human.
Fine mustache.
Fine mustache.
Oh no, I know who it is. I'm just saying my character like doesn't remember.
No, and that's what he's responding to. He's actually defining.
No, I know. It's not gonna ever it.
Gotcha. So he does describe this character. Well, seems that
We
we have interviewed you,
and
and he kind of looks at his half-orc companion, and he goes, "You think there's any further need for questions?"
Nah, we have her pinned just about right. I mean, anything you want to say to us? Yes.
Just some advice as you seem to.
There's
There's an honest good about you that I sense.
You only have a
You only have a year and a half.
Don't make this
Don't make this
difficult.
difficult. Don't work
against yourself.
against yourself.
I don't really think I'll do anything bad.
All
right. I'll,
if
if I have your word,
please take care.
please take care.
It is a prison.
It is a prison. Luckily,
we go to our
extent
extent
and lengths to make sure, especially among women, that you are safe.
Alrighty then. I guess it was nice speaking to you.
Yes, Dr. Solar, and this is your credit.
Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm switching between players. That's why. I'm Guildford Warlock. I'll be the head of security for your cell block B. If you need anything to talk to me, I'm much more accessible than the doctor here.
Yes, that's true.
I'll be in the base floor of the cell block B, in the middle, inside that little stand or whatever. It's an old.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Wait outside. You'll be You'll be escorted by the half orc outside. Please send the next person in. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as this does happen, she does escort you back, and she does ask Salis and Hugo to come in with him. So, like, one person's coming back and two people come in front to make that thing much more faster. So you walk into the room, Brenner. You see this white room, moderate walls, the lighting. It's pretty good, actually. It's
Pretty clean.
It's pretty
and
clean.
You do see the same half orc and the gnome kind of sitting there
As you kind
of walk and sit.
Okay, I'll throw my arms across my chest and kind of kick my feet up onto the arm of the chair.
Oh, that's a shot.
Yes, it's a bit crude.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say we're both in here?
No, you're waiting outside the red door.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And I'm like 3 feet tall and like maybe 60 pounds. I like barely even fit in the chair, so
Yeah.
making myself comfy in the chair.
Yes, but
that's not an excuse for lack of mannerisms.
Feet go on the
Feet go on the ground,
ground,
hands go on the table.
My feet wouldn't touch the ground.
Well, they will make an attempt in your sitting,
You can
correct?
tell
You
that
can
this
tell
is the
that this
gnome
is the
kinda
gnome
speaking,
kind of speaking.
he
He clearly has
like his hands.
like his hands. He's not, you know,
He's also
he's also a short character. I mean, a tiny creature. So he's not like, yeah, you know,
he's not really
he's not really
buying
buying your
your
your like
excuse here.
excuse here.
But
But do you keep you keep them up?
I
I mean, fine if you do.
If I get scolded for it, I'll put them down again.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Now, from what I've been reading in these reports, it's been mostly behavior. Other than that, you've been fine. I'm not give. No, he's the one that like try to hide like weapons and fell. Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
you cut out there.
Yeah.
Behavior has been mostly an issue with you, from what I've seen from the reports. Says here you actually tried hiding some stuff amongst in the shakedown room. That normally happens as a common thing, but you still did it. You're showing signs that you're a potential person to keep an eye out for. Says you're here for 3 years too. No, wait, 5 years.
Yes, he's here for 5 years, and just to add further, your mannerisms definitely a sense of concern. Will you be problematic in establishing yourself here?
Well, seeing as I don't belong here and I'm falsely imprisoned, I have a hard time accepting the rules of this place because I'm not a criminal. I didn't do anything wrong.
Says here you beat a minor to broke his nose, had to have surgery. Says you left him in a pretty bad uh, condition actually. Now as I'm talking to you as a DM, you don't know any of the details specifically of how that guy ended, but from what you can recall, it was just a bloody nose.
Yeah, it wasn't as grave as they're stating, but they're reading off the reports as well. The doctor Solar speaks up and goes like, and but besides, this is not where you state your case. You've had your shot at your trial, and this is just how the system. This is where the system ends. If you want to talk to a lawyer consistently by the end of the year, you are out on. Is he on parole? You will be out on parole if you're on good behavior, but you have not been showing that so far. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't beat a man to the inch of life? A minor?
Last time I checked, self-defense is not a crime.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, but it has to be an equal force. You say you beat him to an inch of life. You seem quite well.
Well, when he picks the fight and him and his goons come after me, am I supposed to just take the beating and deal with it? Or I don't understand. Well, what do you think would have happened to me if I'd have just let them wail on me? I had to stand up for myself. It's not my problem. They're not as good of a fighter as I am.
As you hear the half orc sigh, but it's not like a bad sigh. Look, I get where you're coming from, but your actions have led you to this. Reading the report right here, says you beat him pretty bad. I mean, I get anger issues, but maybe that's why you're here to work on them.
There was no anger involved. He decided to pick the fight. I ended the fight.
And he's like,
Mr. Stain, like I said, we're not here to be your legal case team. You are in prison. Until your sentence has been changed, there's nothing we can do about it. But what we can do is work a relationship where we could get you back and integrate you back into society. It says here you were a craftsman. This is a place to hone your craft. You could show them that you're not a danger to outside. But as of now, that's what you are.
You're thinking assembly line 2? Are you thinking assembly line 2, Dr. Sutter?
I mean, it's just hasn't shown the right presentation. I mean, it'd be a shame to not have someone like him on the assembly line. But can we trust him with the tools?
If you want me to behave, give me my tools back, and I'll spend 90% of my day on my bench working on my own contraptions.
Persuasion.
Yeah, give me a persuasion. Listen, we have a system. Your tools. All right. We're gonna put you in assembly line. You won't get your tools, but we have a hobby shop. You won't have access every day to it. We will give you 1 day out of the whole week. If you have shown yourself to improve in behavior, maybe we could expand.
At the year, he can get his tools back if he shows perfect behavior for that year. Dr. Sola?
I mean,
We'll see.
we'll keep it. We'll workshop it. But for now, you're allowed to enter the hobby shop. Just know that this is because you're a skilled craftsman. This is because we want you in the right hands, and we do want to reintegrate you. We are doing you this solid. You do not deserve to be here.
Whatever you say, boss.
Assembly line for steel?
Yeah. So you're he kind of like accepts your answer, like seeing this new spin, and he kind of just nods. Okay, you work assembly line. You will report to Jefferson. He's in your shift block as well.
Okie
So you kind of like get up. You could hear some rambles from the two. Norman Halfwork. You can't. It's kind of like hush silence, so you really can't get it. But as you step out, they go. Next one in, please.
And as you're escorted back, Renner, both Roland. No, just Roland. No, Roland. All the rest of you are brought up.
Brought in. Okay, and the next person to join would be to get in the room itself would be Hugo.
Hugo, are you there?
Yep. Hugo would probably enter in the room, but climb up on the table, look up at the lights, and be like, "How did you make mini sunbeam?"
Oh no.
I think this is the special case we were informed about. Listen, the little one, sit on the chair, and we'll talk about what happened with you situation. As he looks at Dr. Soler like he's baby talking now. Yep.
That is clearly panicking. Like what's going on here? He goes.
He kind
of like seconds. What is this? Special case? And it looks like he doesn't really.
He's a lifer. The other one.
Okay.
He doesn't even seem that harmful. Just leave him on the table for now.
Can he sit at least?
Can you sit? He's on the table.
Okay.
So cute.
They both look for like almost as they're quiet. The shots.
Well, seems here, Hugo, like you don't really seem to understand what's going on, and it kind of makes you feel, well, out of place. And I guess we're here to help you learn from our society. It says here you have a very serious case, though. You're here for life.
What? Wow! It says here that you are responsible for the disappearance of a whole village.
I wouldn't say I'm responsible for it, but that just happened while I was out.
You were the last known suspect. Am I reading this right? In Iceland?
Yes, you're a nomad.
Yeah, my whole village was.
And you cut off with it unless you're like,
My whole village was blank.
My whole village was.
Hmm.
and then they can see
And then they
like
can see clear confusion among the two.
does he have any shots? Just one. It's just on
It's-
awkwardness. So
so-
it's just one and on awkwardness. It's like a dog just crawls around. It's a little weird. We give him that shot.
We gave him the shot.
A little bit of all of them, but it seems very misdemeanor.
All right. Well, you're a lifer and you're responsible. You're saying you had. Well, like I said, we're not here to trial you. You are here to be interviewed. But I mean, how did you come across the authorities of Bureau? Nomads have no say in what goes on your village. How did you interfere with Bureau's the politics of Bureau? How did you interfere with Bureau? I'm a bit confused here.
I don't know. I just went back to town and nobody was there. And big men come and they take me away.
No, it seems a little too weird to get into right now. I mean, can't fight a life sentence, doctor. If you're not that bad, it's a little concerning of your behavior, so I don't think you can get any of the great jobs. How would you like to work in the kitchen, though?
I've never been in a kitchen before.
I mean, from what I'm told, you can cook food, eat some a little on the side if you want. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't take anything. Everything's accounted for. So just don't think you can take a knife out. But you can cook. You can make some food for yourself on the side. Feed other people if that's what you like. You don't seem too harmful.
I do like to eat.
Do you have any other skill assets that we might implicate and use efficiently that you want to express?
Well, I guess I can grow things.
Specifically?
Like plants and trees. Things like that.
Become a gardener. No, that's his hobby.
I see.
You
You
can grow carrots. Yeah, but
what does that have? All right.
You have a choice
between janitorial and kitchen staff. Up to you. Janitorial pays a bit less, but the kitchen pays a bit more. You have but you will be watched as well, as the kitchen does work with knives and swords.
I do like the idea of food.
All right, you are in kitchen staff. Report to Hawthorne.
But be sure to teach me how to do the sunbeam thing.
That's not that's technology. Technology. The name is almost like that talking. Has machinery, very complex.
So technology is the name of the spell.
Yes.
Yes. You can see your way out. Here you go.
And yes,
Okay, bye-bye.
they're both like grumbling in confusion back there, like, what the fuck? As you step out, you are escorted and Sailors, you're asked to come in.
All right, I do.
Hey.
I sit down in the chair and I just kind of like fold my hands. I do the thing where like I put my elbows on the table and fold my hands above, rest my head on them.
Yeah, no shots. Everything's been compliant, well mannered.
Absolutely.
I see. It says here you're from Gracia itself. You're pretty close.
Born and raised.
Man, your circumstances seem odd. You were delivering a package with illegal goods.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a courier. I take the jobs I can, and I'm not always aware of what I'm carrying. Bit of a shorty system, but it keeps me afloat. And
Yeah, it says here it's still under investigation, but as far as he's serving 5 years. It says you had a destructive weapon in there.
yeah, I was aware that it was something that was. It was something that was fragile. I thought it was some sort of family heirloom or something, but it was a bomb, I guess.
I'm talking to the DM. As a player, you do realize that it was like it was an embroidery, well, not embroidery, like a stamp that made it official that this is a government.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
I was made aware that it was some sort of government thing. I was told to get it somewhere fast, and either I was lied to or my company was lied to.
Well, that is unfortunate, but it says here you're also on the parole with good exemplary behavior. You might be released earlier, but for now you are seeing a maximum of 5 years. Not so bad, especially for holding such a dangerous component. Do you recall your the person hired you?
Hmm?
Do you
Oh,
recall
no,
your client?
Would that be? I was gonna ask beforehand. Would that be like? Would it run through like a system? Like, was I an employee, or do you think I would have been like self-run?
You are self-run. I mean, there are services, but you often take side jobs as well. I mean, you know, why not? It's like basically an Uber. Like, you know, you work for the company, but you also have the liberty to work for who you choose. You were offered this job from a kind of a I wouldn't say shady guy, but you could clearly tell that he worked for someone. He was like a butler of some sort. Kind of had like that arrogance of he works for someone.
well, not exactly an arrogance. It would be like a demeanor that he's serving someone else.
I was a bit of a shady type, which I guess that's on me taking a job from them. But they had some kind of air about them. Seemed a bit posh. They were
Well, I mean,
they seemed like they worked for someone high up.
if things get cleared out, and I mean, you might not even get to send. For now, I mean, I'm from Atticus myself. And, I mean, I haven't seen you around, kid, but I know Atticus. We're pretty good. And actually, do give a perception check.
Me, alrighty.
So, you do realize that the walls are painted good. As far as you living in Atticus and this prison being in Gracia, from what you can tell, or you feel like just by looking at it, a part of you feels like, why are there some better things here than overall of Atticus, where you're from?
Yeah, it's a bit nicer than where I grew up, huh?
Yeah, that would be kind of notable, even with your roll low. You can't really quite picture the wealth difference, but you know there is some. So as you kind of like sit down, well, it seems like you're a good kid. No shots on the first day. The crime doesn't seem to be too serious, and you seem quite honest. Assembly line, right?
I don't want to brag, Dr. Seller, but I mean, as far as I'm getting like, maybe it was a mistake, but you know, us Atticus people, man, we're pretty top tier when it comes to good character.
Well, I'm not here to judge, and like as we said before, we're not the trial.
Could I
But
actually make a suggestion for where I'd end up?
Sure. I mean, the best paying job is definitely the assembly line. You get a whole 2 gold per day. No, sorry, a gold per day. The kitchen staff is 5 silver.
But actually, you could be making 5 silver for working for the library.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask about. Actually, as much as I love getting paid for what I do, I also like enjoying what I do, and I feel like time spent in the library would be good for me.
All right. I mean, definitely.
So
So the library, I was gonna grant access for the library and even the hobby workshops. You seem like a upstanding character.
Uh,
Um, of course, the
hobby
hobby
workshops
workshops are gonna be heavily guarded, and just because you're here does not mean you cannot bounce downwards. We would punish crime fairly, and we will reward um, good behavior as well.
Yeah, just like the good doctor says, keep in mind that this is a privilege.
I am well aware of that, and I am appreciative of it.
All right.
All right, library fights over it too. All right.
Yeah, around five.
Yeah,
Don't,
around
don't
five
discuss
dollars.
the details. We're just here to give.
All right.
So
So
you get
you get per library. He's actually a bit confused about which administrator you should report to.
Would that be Mason technically?
Yeah, report to Mason.
Alright.
All right. As you do leave, you're being asked to step up, Roland.
Rolling. Owen.
Yes, sorry about that. I had myself on mute. Yeah, no, I step forward and move and step inside when I'm called.
Well, come on, sit.
I just move forward and just take a seat politely. I greet my interviewers, I guess.
They kind of like look at the reports a while. It seems you are facing 5 years.
Well, it's got one shot only, and that's showed a little resistance, but nothing. At the end, you complied, and I mean that's no action, I guess.
Yes, but I'm more concerned about your crime here. You've assisted in suicide here.
Yeah, you eventually you killed a man. After investigation, seems like he asked for it, although his family didn't want to, and killed a noble nonetheless. He's a very
No,
rich man.
no, I quite understand. But so at the same time, after 2 years, this gentleman has got to know that in my culture, I, especially in my belief, when someone requests this request, I cannot really deny them this request if I feel that it's coming from the heart. And seeing being the ones who take care of this man for the last, I couldn't just stand there and just say no to him, even though he had trusted me with his type of friend.
Listen, this is a bit too heavy. I mean, laws are laws, regardless of what your morals believe. You must not. The family heavily wish not to allow the man to pass.
I mean, you killed a man who wasn't in his right thinking to begin with. He was suffering.
Listen, we're not here to talk more ambiguity. He's clearly a man who suffered through some stress, but you have committed the crime of murder. Usually, we do not let you those who with this crime work in the kitchen.
No,
Very
I can understand that. I will not deny what my actions look in the eyes of the law.
He's very compliant though.
You
You
also have one
also
shot.
have one shot. That's not bad, especially among the lot.
You like to work for either assembly? We have two assemblies here. You don't seem too hostile to work in either or. One's a little more tougher.
Well, it seems.
Do
Do you have any experience in crafting or well,
craftsmanship
or
in general?
craftsmanship in general? Just
We
we
do
do
want
want
some
some
skilled
skilled
workers,
workers, but
but
there is on training
in the site.
in the site. However,
I
I think he's better suited for the library as well.
Well, by chance, if I worked in a library, would I be allowed to also just research things that might pique my interest? Or
On your free time.
we apply the jobs. Mostly, you do have a supervisor there that would pretty much relay your responsibilities and what you can do and you can't do.
I mean, if anything, you can just, I guess since you have access to the library, you can just borrow a book and there, you could borrow a book and take it back to your cell.
Well, I must say I do like the idea of working in a library if that's possible, but ultimately it is up to your choice where you might see me more fit. The records might show, I'm not sure they're it's written down. I have been known to do most type of jobs depending on what's needed of me.
I kind of want to give me a either a persuasion or kind of charisma check. Um, you have this very what you call it compliant. It's almost creepy. It's hard to match the profile with the person they have in front of them. They seem to believe that you're generally a good guy. A bit stressed about how calmly the man follows up. You did not flee from the crime. You stayed there and admitted to it. You pled guilty. You are a strange man. It could be because you're an elf. The concept of time is often lost among you.
At the same time, it also dawned on me, like, even if this was against, like you said, the family's wishes, the least I can do for the family is be there when they got there. So if they sought to look for justice for my actions, then the least I can do is let them get their justice.
They kind of nod and like they kind of see. They both kind of like perturbed by you, regardless. You do see that in their eyes, but they also see that um, there's some moral goodness in you. All right, I think that's all. You will be established in the library. Please report to Hawk.
Uh, to who?
Hawthorne, sir,
Often. Okay, thank you.
please make your way back. What's the kitchen person?
Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
It was
Let me stand up and walk out.
Jefferson. But no, it was probably Mason. Well, you know what? We'll figure it out later.
Gotcha. So as you step out,
Walker.
Walker, you feel free to.
Yep. Walker enters the room cautiously.
Please hurry up. We don't have all time, Miss Wildtree.
Yep. Just slowly make her way over and kind of look at the chair and look at them.
Sit. It's
Pretty clean. She almost accumulated one shot, but it seems to be she just seems to be really slow at following orders, and that just seems to be. Are you scared over here?
She nods.
Mm-hmm. This is that other weird case. She happened to run into a mansion of the senator of Atticus. And, just put on the trespass.
CC, you're from Crete, though. But you did intervene with our government. You were caught trespassing. You're here for 3 years? Well,
May I ask
why were you trespassing? Were you attempting to burglarize or?
Looking down the whole time, she very quietly responds, I was looking for aid.
Like to get food? Were you hungry?
No, my tribe is gone.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. They're gone. I returned home and they were gone.
All
Alright, well, like, for a whole day, or, I mean, how long did you wait for them?
2 days.
It's weird. I mean, then you ran all the way from Crete to Atticus, and it's just weird. It's a weird situation, brother.
Yes, but I mean, she's a weird woman. She's barely explaining herself properly. Uh, Nomads are very interesting folks. Not saying you're all not bright in the head, but the rejection to adapt to technology has always put a huge difference amongst us. Why? Why are they gone? Can you? Are they? Are they dead? Are they no longer traceable? What is? Have they moved on to another village and were you not invited?
I don't know. I was out hunting, and when I got back home, they were gone. Everything was still there. They were gone.
You kind of like see them kind of like exchange glances, and
As fair as it is, none of this is in the report. I'm only reading. She trespassed.
yes, you trespass at a politician's home.
I mean, you haven't shown any aggression. I mean, I can see you're kind of scared. I mean, seems like an unfortunate case, but I mean, maybe with parole, you can even knock that off on good behavior. I'll write that down for you, seeing as how you are. But
what does she have? 5 years?
2 years.
2 years. Hmm. All right. I mean, 2 years for trespassing seems fairly well. You do have a nice sense about you, but there's also something that kind of inclines that you're gonna get into trouble, and it's not on your behalf. Your this timidity or this shyness must go away. I mean, I'm not sure if you're gonna integrate back into Euro as this is not your homeland, but social interaction is a core to succeeding here.
In here, if you keep showing that demeanor, I'm sorry, dog, but you're not gonna make it past the year. You gotta toughen up a little. I'm not saying punch people, just work on your face. You know, you're too
Your,
scared.
your etiquette. For now, I don't think it will be
Great
great to have you in any service. Well, with kitchen, you don't talk to them as much, so it's fine. But
do you want
I mean, do you want her at assembly line or the library?
Not the
No.
assembly line or the library, maybe, but I don't think so.
Janitorial is very secluded. I mean, you have shown somewhat good traits of trust. Do you want to work in janitorial? Uh, the kitchen?
Either or.
I don't know. I'm good at growing plants and hunting.
Yes, but we don't have a means for that. Why is everyone growing plants here? You kind of see the doctor kind of like almost really frustrated.
And Dr. had lies before this, but maybe I'm feeling janitorial. Maybe a kitchen is a too demanding job for her.
Will that be fine, Miss Wildtree?
I don't think she.
Yeah, I can clean.
Okay, you're in janitorial. Report to Gaston. That's the guy with the mustache. All right, you can go.
Okay. Can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
What is passing the tress?
Maybe we can have that conversation on your next. It just means you went somewhere where you shouldn't have because it's forbidden for people of your type.
She meant trespassing.
He
He like clearly like flustered.
Yeah, Doctor.
You went somewhere where you weren't allowed to be. There's certain customs and traditions that you don't have, may not have at your village, but you cannot just walk into a politician's home unannounced. You know we don't know if you're gonna plot murder, steal. Ways and customs of doing things correctly here, man.
Okay. I won't pass the tress.
He looks like his face is like slapped to the face. He's slapping his own face in the sense. He's like, all right. Next. Please behave well. You have a light sentence. Anything rash or anything I handle will only extend. And he kind of like almost blurs a little, and as you like hold off, well you walk off, you invite
The last but not least, Wig.
Yeah,
Wait.
she'll slowly make her way out.
Nice. So Wig kind of walks in, and they both look at you. It feels like they might have even saved you for last. Is that? Yeah.
This why? It
It doesn't look threatening, but most spies aren't.
You
And you can kind of say that they saying this out loud, not really afeared to kind of speak.
You actually,
Yeah.
is that window on? Like, kind of like.
Wait, give me a second.
Is that window like? Is the warden there? Kind of like.
You hear a pounding on the window in the back. It looks like it was a glass window, but this is clearly clear and empty.
It's a one-sided window.
It's a one-sided window, but you hear a little pound, like
Do you want to introduce the warden here specifically?
Okay, gotcha.
To give him the mission about the card.
Okay, so as you're like headed in, they ask you, please sit.
So I sit down.
Mr. Wig Underlake. Wiggle Underlake.
How
How
many shots does he have?
many shots does he have?
He tried sticking stuff in, but the guard closed some of his stuff down. But tried being sneaking stuff in. Seems a little hesitant. Other than that, behavior-wise, no use of magic. He seems okay for what you think a spy would be.
Yeah, guards not really checking him out, although they've been advised to.
It's no secret to
It's no secret to why you're here.
You're a spy.
You're a spy. You work for the Americas.
Yeah, admitted so at my trial.
Yes, and
But that's all that you permitted. I mean, no line of work, no line of communication with other spies, no name of networks. I mean, you were told you're here for life. I mean, you seem to just say that you're a spy with really no details as of to why you were a spy in the first place. What was your end goal here?
Well, I recommend you peruse the details of the trial itself. I mean, am I here to be placed for a job, or am I here to rehash the trial?
we're here to get answers and to see how you will fit into this community.
Well, as you've said, I will be here my entire life. And as a halfling, that is rather long. So my plan is to just get along as easily as possible, not to create any waves, and hope that at some point a trade can be enacted between your country and mine, and I can be released.
That could seem possible.
I do want a deception check in general because you have clearly shown interest of escaping before, and it does contradict what you're saying now. And these are like trained interviewees, so give me a deception check to see if they should wholeheartedly believe you or not. Yeah, I mean they're like,
Yeah.
oh,
You could be traded. That could be a possibility. Like you'll be back in your
Hey.
hometown, your country.
Yeah, I hope you understand. It's nothing personal. You're raised to perform these jobs, and I'm sure were you in my position, the same thing would occur. As far as I'm concerned, my best bet is just to fly, as you would say, under the radar, until a trade can happen. And if a trade doesn't happen, at least I hopefully, through good behavior, incur some privileges and benefits.
I mean, for starters, you can work at either assembly line.
Well, let's not talk about jobs yet. We shouldn't. Let's. I mean, and it kind of gives the orc a look to like there's still more to uncover here. You're we don't know who you're assigned to, what agency you work for, and yes, we did see the trial, not completely, not completely, but we would get those reports, and the warden will be quite heavily invested in your involvement here. Now, you have parents. They have gone missing for a while. Do you know their location?
I imagine at this point they're back in the Americas.
Like the half-orc is reading his notes because he has none of this in his papers. So he's like, "What's going on here?"
So he kind of goes like the gnome goes. So you have no idea. Do you know of any summer homes or vacation places that you might have had in your parents had in Euro?
Well, your government has access to the financial records, so I'm sure they could tell you. And when it comes to things like that, understand that secrecy, even amongst one's own family, is incredibly important in this line of work. You will note, though, that as I committed my crime, I ensured that no one was injured. I would like to say that personally, I take a great deal of pride in the fact that no one was hurt.
See, that's the very reason you got caught. Kind of spy.
I think it's worth it. Quite frankly, my job was, or I was given a mission to sabotage, not to kill. I mean, it's really not. At some point, we have to draw the line.
You might be a filthy spy. At least you have some morals about you.
All right.
It seems that you haven't committed anything. We cannot have you in the assembly line.
Well,
I wouldn't dream of it.
not the kitchen. Oh, I mean, why not? I mean, can't have him in the kitchen. It's a spy.
What's he gonna spy on? Tomatoes and knives?
I just don't want to give him access to knives. Could pull a fast one on our boys. The way I'm looking at it.
I don't want them in the library.
Yes.
So we have agreed.
I mean, you know who's in the assembly line.
He's a filthy spy. Let's just give him janitorial.
I think that's an excellent idea. Janitorial.
I changed my mind. I hate this man.
He's clearly toying with you here. You know who we have here to give him a little.
They kind of look confused, like completely not understanding.
A little grasp of reality. As you do hear this, a little grasp of reality where he is.
All right, janitorial it is. So you will be heavily watched.
Professor, assembly line, heavily watched. Give him a minute.
All right, but we're gonna be on top of you. Not literally, because that's improper. But
I didn't know it was that kind of prison.
you kind of see that there's like some clear frustration. The thing is, because he believes you heavily that you're here to have a good time, and he's conflicting with his moral, like his personal things. But you have convinced him. He's a bit flustered. All right. You were to report to Mason.
And that's in the assembly line?
Mason is your one of your shift guards. He will direct you to the assembly line. You will have a co-director and someone that kind of instructs you how to. Instructs you on what they expect.
I just want to tell you that I think this is a tremendous idea. It couldn't have gone better. I will wholeheartedly do my best to accomplish my mission at the assembly line. Good day, sir.
The guy, even though it kind of like like
angrily.
angrily.
I
Like
guess
I guess it's
I guess it's some
national pride going on here that you could probably absorb from them, but they could almost sense that your act is almost an act, but you're also sincere about your act. If that makes sense. As you step out, I think we have everyone. We managed to grasp everyone in, right?
You guys talk to your the people you would talk to. You tell them what jobs you were entitled to, and then
And they all tell you you start tomorrow.
around.
Around you all have different time shifts. But we'll get more into details about your work shifts next session, just to make sure everything's in order.
All right.
For does anyone specifically wants to stop here? Because it is 12. We start this is 4 hours mark. By all means, if you want to continue for another hour, it's fine. But if this is where I know some of you are time constrained and some of you might not be, where's everyone looking at that right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like ending it here. This was a good like
Yeah.
session
Yeah.
0. I feel ending it here would be a good
Yeah.
place to end it.
Yeah, I'm in
Nice.
agreement on that one. It was a great session 0.
Yep.
Oh,
This will be fun.
I'm actually glad.
I'm actually glad. We were a bit
worried about
worried about the number. Now, does anyone have any concerns about the number and the pacing as well? Is this something that you think we will manage to improve over time?
I liked it. I feel like even with a lot of people, everybody had their time to do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with my experience as a DM, if you have a large part like this, it'll always even itself out as you continue on.
Sweet. We were like, oh man, we didn't expect to have this much people, and at the end we're like, wait, why did we accept these people? We have a number. We were reading the applications, we were fond of the characters, and any concerns or any schedule or anything. We do want to have an 8 p.m. kind of sharp, but we're gonna have 5 to 10 minutes to kind of like really, because some of us are gonna come in here chat a little as players and kind of like invest in friendships and whatnot. This is gonna be a long-term campaign. This is definitely gonna run smooth set until February. Me and my brother are planning on a vacation, possibly. Nothing set in stone yet. And till then, yeah. Till then, we'll see. It will be weekly, 8 p.m. When we start, and we'll try to end at 12. Sometimes it might be at 1. I know some of you guys work and need to be at places, so yeah.
To make sure to ask them.
All right. Yeah, no, that was fun.
We just want to make sure. Are you guys okay and comfortable with having this party size of 7 people?
Yeah.
And feel free to message us also privately, like if you want to be like more. We do have a solution, but if you're all fine with this and continuing, by all means.
Yeah, no, I think it worked out well despite the size. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, me too.
We are gonna do XP, and maybe at some point do milestone. It's nothing set in stone.
I think.
Yeah, I think. But we'll do XP. For now, this was session 0. It was mostly to introduce your characters. Hopefully, the last session, like you said, we don't have time to kind of talk all about the backstories. Kind of give an idea of each other's characters. Feel free to use the chat, and it seems you guys enjoy chatting to kind of like speed up the time, which is cool. To kind of like show more about what you want to express to other players and about your character and so on and so on. And I'm glad you all made it on time. Pretty nifty.
So relieved actually that you guys.
Yeah. And any conversations that, like I said before, our PMs are always open, and we'll message as best as we can and as soon as possible.
All right.
Alright, so
Buenas noches, people. Buenas noches.
Yeah. Later.
Right.
Yeah. See ya.
I guess.
Adios.
Brian, they loved us.